Chapter 1454 Arrogance 2. Don't go too far. Jiang Qin panted into Oba Yao's arms. She looked viciously at Moe. So what if I'm bullying you? Moe raised her brows slightly, completely unafraid. Tuoba Yao's eyes glittered, and a murderous aura rippled around him. The two demon fox servants instantly returned to Jiang Qin's side and flanked her with a serious air. It looked as if the fight was about to start again, and Jiang Lu hurriedly advanced and said, "Second sister-in-law, we are all family. Why disrupt the harmony in our family?" "All family?" Moe laughed softly. Her eyes were as cold as ice. "We are all family, but you permitted someone to snatch my daughter's spirit root? We are all family, but you allow the younger generation of the Jiang family to bully my daughter at will? What rubbish! I, Moe, am not in the same clan as you. If you don't hand Yu over to me today, I don't mind killing the entire Jiang family." Moe's aura surged and her robes flew. Jiang Qin and the others had extremely ugly expressions. Moe had always been like that. She did not respect anyone. Her hands were even stained with Jiang family blood. "Second sister-in-law, Yuer is also a child of our Jiang family. It is all water under the bridge. Just forget it. You're rarely home. Why make things so difficult?" Jiang Lu continued to cajole. Moe laughed coldly and looked at Jiang Lu scornfully. At that moment, Jiang Lu realized that his words were inappropriate. Yi was a child of the Jiang family, so they wanted to protect her. However, Yi Qingtang was also a child of the Jiang family, but the younger generation of the Jiang family had bullied her repeatedly. "We were biased in this incident. Second sister-in-law, please calm down. Father is currently in seclusion. Why not wait for father to end his seclusion before making a decision?" Jiang Lu used a conciliatory tone. Moe's gaze passed over everyone present. She seemed scornful of Jiang Liu's words. "Second sister-in-law, even if you don't consider yourself, please consider second brother and Tang Tang. The Jiang family blood flows in their veins," Jiang Lu said. Moe was definitely at a disadvantage in the current situation. If it were just Jiang Qin alone, Moe would not be concerned. But now, Tuoba Yao, Elder Meng, and Jiang Lu were all on Yiyu's side. If Moe forced the matter, they might seize the opportunity to harm Yi Qingtang. After some consideration, Moe said frostily, "When is the domain monarch ending his seclusion?" When Jiang Lu heard that there was room of discussion, he immediately said, "Father will end his seclusion in 3 days at the latest. Then we'll give her a few more days. In 3 days, when the domain monarch ends his seclusion, I will insist she returns my daughter her spirit root, regardless of his judgment," Moe said frostily. "Dream on." "Moe, you just try to touch a hair on Yuer's head." Jiang Qin glared at Moe viciously. Moe swept a glance at Jiang Qin. Her lips curved in an icy smile. "In 3 days' time, not only will I touch her, but I will disembowel her and take her spirit root." "How dare you?" "Why wouldn't I dare?" Moe said coldly. If Tuoba Yao had not held her back, Jiang Qin would probably start fighting with Moe again. Yi was standing nearby, watching Moe, who was like a killing god. When she heard that Moe wanted to disembowel her, she felt a chill throughout her body. She could not help but recall how she and a Yi family elder had disemboweled Yi Qingtang together and dug out her spirit root. She definitely did not want to end up like that. Moe could not be bothered to quibble with them. She flew off with Yi Qingtang and the others. Chapter 1455 Arrogance 3. Jiang Lu only heaved a sigh of relief after Moe left. His back was soaked in cold sweat. "Third brother, why do you need to be so timid? That Moe is just too disrespectful. We have numbers on our side. Why should we be afraid of her?" Jiang Qin was angered by Jiang Liu's weak nature. But Jiang Lu said, "Can you calm down? So what if we have numbers on our side? You know that Moe is from the ancient dynasty." "What about the ancient dynasty? It's been dead for 10,000 years. The central mainland of today is no longer in the era of the ancient dynasty. Our Jiang family is the current domain monarch. Jiang Qin said coldly. The ancient dynasty no longer exists, but don't you know about the ancient dynasty's strange cultivation techniques? We've known Moe for many years, but no one has ever determined her cultivation level. Father will end his seclusion in a few days. Everything can wait until he ends his seclusion and deals with it. Why do you need to be so impatient? Jiang Lu frowned and seemed rather agitated. Jiang Qin wanted to continue, but Tuoba Yao pulled her aside, so she only grunted coldly. Yi Yu, who was standing nearby, was completely ashen. This time, her pallor was real, unlike her previous act. You don't worry. Aunt Qin will back you up. I would like to see whether that Moe has the ability to touch you within the Jiang family. Jiang Qin looked at Yi Yu's paper-white face and comforted her tenderly. Aunt Qin, frightened. Yi Qingtang's mother says she's going to dig out my spirit root. I know Yi Qinggang hates me, but we're sisters. Yi Yu pretended to quiver in fright and looked pitiable. Jiang Qin felt even more tenderness towards her. What sisters? She's not fit to be your sister. If she had not tattled to Moe and asked Moe to come and dig out your spirit root, Moe would not know about all this. Yi Yu secretly wept pitifully. Meanwhile, Moe brought Yi Qingtang back to the western courtyard, and Yi Qingtang invited Moe into her room. Moe studied the room, then tugged at Yi Qingtang's hand, and sat down. She spoke. Tang Tang, don't worry. I will certainly get your spirit root back for you. There were too many of them just now. If I took the risk and just fought them to the death, I'm afraid Jiang Qin and the others would harm you out of desperation. Yi Qingtang looked at Moe. Although she knew Moe was not her real mother, her heart was filled with warmth. She had been adopted by Yi Ling when she was young, and she had never had a mother or experienced a mother's love. This time, she had traveled to the Central Dynasty hoping to find her mother. But at that moment, Moe had allowed her to experience the greatness of a mother's love, which was to protect her child at all costs, even if she made enemies of everyone else. I know, mother. Moe was startled to be called mother. Her limpid eyes suddenly grew moist. She gathered Yi Qingtang into her arms and half closed her eyes, caressing this treasure that had once been lost. These years have been hard on you. But now that you have returned to my side, I will protect you. If anyone has hurt you, I will avenge you. Yi Qingtang almost greedily luxuriated in this precious maternal love. Whether in her past or present life, this was her first time experiencing such warmth. But at that moment, she could not help but envy the green-robed girl for having such a doting mother. When she thought of the green-robed girl, Yi Qingtang somehow felt that she had overlooked something. Chapter 1456 Extermination 1. In her previous life, Yi Qingtang did not have any interactions with Jiang Lang and his wife in the central mainland and only knew that they slaughtered people mercilessly. However, not long after Yi Qingtang reached the central mainland, the couple suddenly disappeared. She only happened to hear that the couple's corpses were found in a desert mountain when she was about to leave the central mainland. They had already died for many years when they were found, but their corpses were dried, and all their cultivation was completely devoured. Jiang Lang and his wife committed many sins when they were alive, and no one collected their corpses even after they died. It was the Jiang family that learned of the news a very long time later and hastily sent people to collect their corpses. Yi Qingtang did not pay much attention then, but it was a little strange thinking about it now. Given Moe's and Jiang Lang's skills, how could they die without a sound? Moreover, according to what the person who discovered the corpses said, there were no scars found, and there did not seem to be any fights before they died. What kind of person could suck dry all of the couple's cultivation without them laying a hand on the person? A shocking guess flashed across Yi Qingtang's mind suddenly. Could it be that their powers were devoured by the heavenly demon devouring bloodline? Yi Qingtang was shocked by her own guess. She did not meet the lady in green in her previous life, and the devouring bloodline was still on that lady while that lady was the biological daughter of Moe and Jiang Lang. If not for the sudden change in this lifetime's trajectory, perhaps that lady in green would return to the Jiang family in the future and to the couple's side. If it was their biological daughter, Jiang Lang and his wife probably would not have their guard up against her. Returning to her family, devouring her parents' skills, and killing them. Yi Qingtang increasingly found that these clues seemed to corroborate with the couple's death. However, this was only her guess, and she did not know what exactly happened in her previous life. Yi Qingtang did not have many feelings toward Jiang Lang and his wife in her previous life, but Mo Yi protected her so much today. Yi Qingtang had a heart as well, so how could she not be grateful? Mo Yi was unaware of Yi Qingtang's guesses and only let go of her reluctantly after hugging for a long time. Her motherly gaze scanned Yi Qingtang closely, and however she looked at her did not seem to be enough. Your father will like you as well if he sees you. Father? Did he not return with you? Yi Qingtang was a little curious as the couple was rumored to always be by each other's side. Mo Yi said with a smile, some tactless people annoyed your father, and he has to spend some time to massacre all of them. He told me to return first to look at you, and so I left first. Massacre all of them? Yi Qingtang was silent. All right. A caring mother she was, but this kindness was only shown to her daughter. This couple was still as heartless to others. Mo Yi wanted to say something more, but she suddenly started coughing. The demon fox servant hurriedly retrieved a medicine gourd from her space ring and handed it to Mo Yi. Mo Yi received it and drank it. Yi Qingtang smelled a bitter medicinal scent that had a faint smell of blood. Mother, are you unwell? Yi Qingtang noticed that Mo Yi's complexion was very pale and that her breathing was much weaker than others. Mo Yi was unusually valiant when fighting Jiang Qin, and Yi Qingtang thought it was just a front, but now, it seemed that there really was a problem. Chapter 1457 Extermination 2. Mo Yi passed the medicine gourd to her servant and smiled. It's a problem from the bloodline. It's nothing much. I was initially still worried that you followed my bloodline, but now, it seems that you followed your father. This is good as well. Although people with my bloodline are powerful, there are many drawbacks. It is great that you have the heavenly demon bloodline variant. Bloodline drawbacks? Yi Qingtang was slightly taken aback. Everyone knew about the power of the ancient dynasty, but their downfall was a mystery. Could it be related to this bloodline? Mo Yi did not seem to intend to talk about her bloodline. Meeting her daughter after over 10 years, Mo Yi did have many things to talk to Yi Qingtang about, and Yi Qingtang calmed down to feel the momentary familial comfort. Mo Yi was overjoyed that her lost daughter returned to her, but there was one person in the Jiang family who was infuriated. Jiang Shun's firm features seemed to be ripping apart from hatred as he looked at Jiang Yiming, who was laying in bed breathlessly. Jiang Lu, Jiang Qin, and her husband and others were present in the room. How's Yiming's injury? Jiang Lu took a look at Jiang Shun's somber expression and then at the physician beside them. That physician's forehead had a layer of cold sweat as he replied anxiously. Young Master Yiming's injuries are very severe. His arteries are damaged. But although his life is saved, I'm afraid all his cultivation will. Jiang Lu was shocked by what the physician said. Jiang Yiming is crippled? Yi Sun, who was standing aside, shivered as he looked at the lifeless Jiang Yiming. Jiang Yiming was a heavenly venerate, but Mo Yi actually crippled him with one move. She was standing right behind Jiang Yiming then, and if Mo Yi's attack landed on her, she would have died at the scene. Sister Yu, Yi Sun tugged Yu's sleeves. Yu looked down with an ashamed expression. It's all my fault. If Brother Yiming did not vent anger for me, he would not confront Yi Qingtang and all the more not cause Yi Qingtang to be resentful and incite her mother to hurt Brother Yiming. Then, Yi took a step forward and kneeled before Jiang Shun. Uncle, it's all my fault. I did Brother Yiming wrong. Jiang Shun had a gloomy expression and did not speak. Jiang Qin was tearful at the sight and hurriedly helped Yu up. You, this has nothing to do with you. It's Mo Yi and her daughter who are evil. Jiang Qin looked at Jiang Shun and said, Eldest brother, Yiming is your only son. Now that he is harmed to this state because of Mo Yi and her daughter, you must definitely avenge him. It's all my fault. I did not notice and protect Yiming. Jiang Lu was extremely vexed at this instant. Jiang Shun was the eldest son of the domain monarch. He had been the acting family master during the domain monarch's seclusion and had an extremely high status in the Jiang family. Jiang Yiming was his only son, eldest brother. Seeing that Jiang Shun did not reply, Jiang Qin wanted to say something more, but he suddenly raised his hand and smashed the wall with his palm. Where is Moe yet now? Jiang Shun had a sinister and murderous gaze. Jiang Qin was delighted and replied immediately. She is in the West Garden right now. Expressionless, Jiang Shun turned around and walked out of the door. Jiang Qin and the rest noticed and immediately followed. Eldest brother, Moe is too arrogant. Her cultivation technique is unusual. I will come with you. Jiang Qin had her own plans. Moe's cultivation techniques were unusual, but no matter what, she was on her own. Now that Jiang Lang was not around and the domain monarch was in seclusion, it was the best time to get rid of Moe and Yi Qingtang. Chapter 1458 Extermination 3 Jiang Qin would not let Moe have any chance to harm Yiyu. Jiang Shun did not say anything, which implied silent consent to Jiang Qin's suggestion. The domain monarch would come out of seclusion 3 days later, and even if Jiang Lang came back, the domain monarch would not allow him to mess around. Eldest brother, you all, Jiang Lu wanted to say something when he saw that the situation was off. But Jiang Qin cut him and said, Third brother, you watched Yiming grow up. Can you bear to see him in this state now? This, Jiang Lu was in a daze. Moe already said that she will dig Yuer's spirit root 3 days later. In the past, she and Jiang Lang killed Elder Meng's son as well. Are you not clear about these, third brother? Moe ultimately does not share our family name, but she harmed our clan members repeatedly. Are you really going to stand up for someone with a different family name? Jiang Lang snickered. Jiang Lu was speechless. After discussions, they headed straight to the West Garden immediately. Yiyu planned to follow them as well, but Yi Sun pulled Yiyu fearfully. Sister Yu, it's better for us to not go. That's it. Seeing that others had left, all the remorse and guilt left Yiyu's face. What are you afraid of? No matter how powerful that Moe is, how can she win against Aunt Qin and so many of them? Once Moe dies, Yi Qingtang will no longer have a backing. I must see how she dies tragically today. Yi Sun thought that it made sense as well and did not say anything much. Then, she followed Yiyu and headed there as well in hopes of seeing Yi Qingtang die. In the West Garden, Moe asked Yi Qingtang about her childhood after consuming the medicine. The two of them laughed and sighed from time to time and seemed to have a close mother and daughter relationship. Even Bei the Demon Lord was envious of them. But at this time, Moe's gaze suddenly changed. The two demon fox servants at the door tightened their grip on their weapons vigilantly at this instant as well. Mother! Yi Qingtang vaguely sensed that there was something wrong when she saw that Moe's expression changed. Moe patted Yi Qingtang's hand. I'm here. Afterward, Moe rose immediately, and the tightly shut door was unlocked instantly with the flick of her sleeves. Outside the door were Jiang Shun and the rest. The warmth in Yi Qingtang's eyes faded immediately when she saw the ill-intentioned people, and she stood beside Moe. Fuck. They're here to stir up trouble. The little white tiger in Yi Qingtang's arm knew that the situation was bad when it saw these people appearing together. A smile flashed across Moe's pale face as she glanced at the speaking little white tiger. She then looked up at the people outside the door. But, are you all unwilling to wait for 3 days? Are you all returning Yiyu's spirit root to my daughter? Jiang Shun squinted his eyes and glared at Moe with malice. Jiang Qin scoffed. Moe, you're still so muddle-headed with death at hand. This is the Jiang residence. You behaved recklessly however you wanted, ruined the descendants of the Jiang family, and violated the family rules repeatedly. Today is the day where you will repay for all your sins. Moe chuckled as she looked at the gloomy Jiang Shun. Is Jiang Yiming killed by a single move from me? Did you all hurry here for his funeral? Jiang Shun's expression became increasingly contorted. Moe, I always refuse to haggle with people like you on the account of my second younger brother. However, you injured my son severely today, and I must settle this score. So he's not dead? Moe shook her head faintly and smiled. Your son bullied my daughter. It's truly a pity that I could not kill him. Chapter 1459 Shameless 1, Elder Brother, Moe is unrepentant even now. Why bother to bandy words with her? Just cut off her head and avenge Yiming. Jiang Qin fanned the flames. Jiang Shun nodded slightly. The aura that surrounded him instantly grew. Jiang Qin and Tuoba Yao were also prepared to attack. Moe looked at them frostily, and a chilly smile appeared on her lips. She turned her head slightly to look at Yi Qingtang and then raised her hand to smooth Yi Qingtang's hair, which lay against her cheek. Tang Tang, this place is too filthy. Wait for me in the room. But Yi Qingtang shook her head. She knew Moe was very powerful, but Jiang Qin and the others were no weaklings. She could not abandon Moe now that they were ganging up on her. Mother, why don't I fight together with you? Although they were not actually related by blood, Moe had been good to her. Moe was startled, but then she laughed softly. Very well, we will kill our enemies together. I'll slaughter these people who bullied my Tang Tang. With that, Moe's gaze suddenly turned towards Jiang Qin and the others. If I survive today, all of you will die in the future. Moe's words were filled with powerful murderous intent. The two demon fox servants were at attention. Even the Beidou demon lord was prepared to fight. Jiang Qin and the others were all heavenly venerates. Based on their current fighting abilities, it would be difficult for Yi Qingtang and the Beidou demon lord to participate in today's battle. But at that moment, no one was prepared to retreat. The next instant, Jiang Qin and the others suddenly charged at Moe. Moe leaped into the air and met them in battle. Her two servants also entered the fight. Yi Qingtang was not far behind. She took a few bottles of elixirs from her space ring that could temporarily increase her abilities and drank them. Then, she drew her sword and charged with the little white tiger and the Beidou demon lord. Yi Yu and Yi Sun, who had followed Jiang Qin and the others, now stood at the entrance of the yard and watched the melee from a distance. Yi Yu's eyes passed over everyone and then settled on Yi Qingtang. Her eyes were filled with malice. Elder sister Yuer, Yi Qingtang is doomed. Moe is certainly no match for Aunt Qin and the others when they join forces against her, Yi Sun said with a smile. Yi Yu's lips curved in a faint smile. She had come here just to see Yi Qingtang lose her head. In a moment, a series of pitched battles were taking place throughout the yard. The two demon fox servants were fairly powerful, but they still paled in comparison to Jiang Qin and the others. Yi Qingtang and the Beidou demon lord joined forces with the two servants to hamper Jiang Qin and Tuoba Yao. But Jiang Shun directly attacked Moe. Jiang Shun was much more powerful than Jiang Qin. He managed to hold his own as he traded blows with Moe. For a while, things were at a stalemate, and it was difficult to determine who would win. Yi Qingtang and a demon fox servant fought Jiang Qin. Jiang Qin was no match for Moe but could manage the demon fox servant and Yi Qingtang. The demon fox servant and Yi Qingtang joined forces but were still no match for Jiang Qin. After a while, the demon fox servant was struck by Jiang Qin and spat out a large mouthful of blood. Young mistress, you better go. Traces of blood stained the demon fox servant's robes red. Her voice did not waver, but she protected Yi Qingtang so that she could leave the battlefield. Jiang Qin was much more powerful than she imagined. The young mistress' powers just could not compare to Jiang Qin. It did not matter if she died. But nothing must happen to the young mistress. Trying to escape? It's not that easy. Jiang Qin would not allow Yi Qingtang to leave. She leaped up and brushed past the demon fox servant, her palm descending on Yi Qingtang. Chapter 1460 Shameless 2. A fierce burst of flames exploded around Yi Qingtang. The black flames roared as she forced herself to withstand Jiang Qin's blow. However, blood seeped from the corner of her mouth. Moe was fighting fiercely with Jiang Qin, but she kept an eye on Yi Qingtang. When she saw that Jiang Qin had injured Yi Qingtang, Moe's pale face instantly turned crimson. Jiang Qin, how dare you injure my daughter? The next instant, Moe soared upwards and struck. A huge white glow, like lightning, shot towards Jiang Qin. Jiang Qin was shocked and hurriedly withdrew. She raised her eyes to look at Moe with a cold smile on her lips. Moe, I not only want to injure her, but I want to break your daughter's neck in front of you. I'll kill you. Moe's eyes were half-hooded. Her dark pupils seemed to slowly dilate until they covered the whites of her eyes. Before Moe could get away, Jiang Shun pressed towards her, not giving Moe an opportunity to rescue Yi Qingtang. Moe, open your eyes and look at me carefully, so you can see how I twist off your daughter's head, Jiang Qin said with a cold smirk. Then, she attacked Yi Qingtang with a flying leap. Moe was frantic, but Jiang Shun hampered her and did not give her a chance to leave. Scram! Moe gave a low shout. Jiang Shun laughed coldly. Moe, this is your retribution. You injured my son. Today, your daughter is going to be killed before your eyes. This is retribution. Ha! By then, Moe's eyes had turned completely black. A black vein stretched from her temple to her cheek. Her skin seemed to grow even paler. She looked like a demon who had crawled out of hell. Her powers suddenly grew exponentially. The smug expression was suddenly wiped off Jiang Shun's face. His eyes filled with shock when he saw that Moe's powers had suddenly surged. What is happening? All of you shall die. Moe suddenly spoke. Her voice was imbued with a faint, plaintive wail. Her speed instantly doubled. Shocked, Jiang Shun hurriedly moved to defend himself. Meanwhile, Yi Qingtang saw that Jiang Qin was moving step by step closer to her. But she remained completely calm. Yi Qingtang, of all things, you should never have offended my Yuer. Who do you think you are to pit yourself against Yuer? Today will be the day you die. Jiang Qin had no regard for Yi Qingtang, and she laughed coldly as she drew nearer. Yi Qingtang narrowed her eyes slightly and secretly stimulated the energy in her body. Jiang Qin suddenly struck. A red light shot out from behind her. Her movements transformed into a blur of light, as if she was a flame streaking across the area. The instant Jiang Qin attacked, the black flames around Yi Qingtang surged. The towering black flames instantly transformed into a black phoenix, which charged straight at Jiang Qin. Jiang Qin was slightly taken aback. She had not expected Yi Qingtang to have such a move. She had a bad feeling about these black flames. The demon fox servants had assumed that Yi Qingtang was no match for Jiang Qin and had not expected her to be able to withstand Jiang Qin's attack. Moe had also noticed this. Her lips curved slightly, and the black vein on her face gradually vanished. Just as Moe relaxed a little, a black figure suddenly charged out from behind her. Elder Meng suddenly appeared. The moment Moe relaxed, he aimed a blow at Moe's back. Chapter 1461 Shameless 3 Moe sensed something was amiss but did not have time to dodge. The blow hit her squarely in the back. Moe, you must pay for my son's life. Elder Meng roared. No one expected Elder Meng to suddenly appear. Jiang Shun and the others were delighted to see Elder Meng. Moe stumbled and blood shot from her mouth. She narrowed her eyes as she looked at Elder Meng, who had attacked her from behind. Your son deserved to die, Moe said with a cold laugh as she wiped away the blood. Jiang Shun and the others had reached an impasse in their fight with Moe. In fact, after Moe's powers surged, they had slowly started to lose. No one expected Elder Meng to suddenly attack at this moment, breaking Moe's momentum. Elder Meng. Jiang Shun looked at Elder Meng and slowly raised his hand. Elder Meng had appeared at this moment because he also wanted to kill Moe. Moe would certainly die today. Moe, I would like to see what other tricks you can pull out of your bag today. You have nothing to blame but your many evil deeds, Jiang Shun said with a cold laugh. Moe's eyes narrowed. Her chest rose and fell as she breathed erratically. The demon fox servants, who were still embroiled in battle, were startled by Moe's appearance. Jiang Qin and Tuoba Yao immediately seized on their slight distraction and sent them flying with heavy injuries. Don't waste time. Kill Moe first, Elder Meng said cautiously. Tuoba Yao and Jiang Qin did not waver anymore. They leaped upwards into the void, and the four of them joined forces to surround Moe. When Yi Qingtang saw this, She also soared upwards and stood before Moe, brandishing her sword. Tang Tang. A faint smile grew on Moe's pale face when she saw that her daughter was protecting her. Mother, you leave first. Yi Qingtang fixed her eyes on Jiang Shun and the others. If not for Elder Meng's sneak attack, it would have been difficult to determine the outcome of today's fight. But now Moe seemed to be injured, perhaps. None of you will escape today. All of you will die here. Jiang Qin laughed coldly. With your abilities, Moe laughed softly. She was about to say something else when she was racked with a fit of violent coughing. Yi Qingtang was frightened to see her cough out a large amount of blood. Moe frowned slightly and looked at Yi Qingtang, who was standing in front of her. Something flashed across her eyes. Then, she suddenly reached out and pulled Yi Qingtang into her arms. She flicked her wide sleeves and flames shot from them. The flames were interspersed with cold gleams of light, which shot towards Jiang Qin and the others. The gleams of light shot forth as flames filled the air. While Jiang Qin and the others dodged, Moe held on to Yi Qingtang and flew off, landing inside the room. Then, she curled her fingers and pulled the severely injured demon fox servants, Beidou demon lord, and the little white tiger into the room together. The door slammed shut. The flames in the courtyard immediately disappeared. Damn it, it was an illusion. Jiang Qin only realized the truth when she saw the flames disappear suddenly. She prepared to break down the door and charge in. But as Jiang Qin was about to break down the door, Jiang Shun pulled her back. Elder brother? Jiang Qin looked surprised. Jiang Shun kicked a stone towards the tightly locked door. The moment the stone collided with the room door, it exploded into bits. It's a barrier. Elder Meng narrowed his eyes as he looked at the door. He could faintly see that the doors and windows of the room were enmeshed in lines of light that were as fine as cobwebs. Chapter 1462 Death Wish 1. So what? We have so many people. Will we be unable to break through this barrier? Once the barrier is broken, we can kill Moe and Yi Qingtang, Jiang Qin said. Elder Meng shook his head. This is a barrier passed down by the ancient dynasty. The price is too high if we break it. However, this barrier consumes too much energy. That Moe was injured by me just now. Given her current condition, she will not be able to sustain this barrier for long. We just need to wait. Jiang Qin hesitated for a moment and finally stopped. After Moe brought the people into the room, she immediately spat out a mouthful of blood, and her fragile frame was unstable. Yi Qingtang hurriedly helped to steady Moe. Mother! Moe squinted her eyes and wiped the blood at the corner of her lips. I was careless for a moment. Subsequently, Emily looked at Yi Qingtang worryingly and brushed the sinister look in her eyes away. Tang Tang, I will send you all out from the back door later. You don't need to return. You just need to head to the mountain 30 miles away to look for your father. He should be there. Moe's voice was extremely gentle, but what she said stunned Yi Qingtang. I'm not leaving. Yi Qingtang faintly felt that Moe seemed to be addressing her post-death matters. Don't be foolish. Those people outside racked their brains to take my life. I don't mind playing with them, but I will be worried if you're beside me, Moe said with a smile. Yi Qingtang did not believe a single word she said. If Moe really could deal with Jiang Shun and the rest, she would not have retreated into the room. Mother, don't lie to me. I am already an adult, Yi Qingtang said. Moe was slightly surprised, but she sighed softly. It was then that Yi Qingtang noticed a streak of black blood on Moe's pale face. Her eyes became pitch black, and the white of the eye was completely absent. Madam, the heavily wounded demon fox servants saw Moe's behavior and took out that medicine gourd strenuously. Moe shook her head, however. That medicine could only be used for daily nourishment. She had already suffered a huge deficit and still needed to sustain the barrier. How could she consume it? The demon fox servants lowered their head and clenched their fists tightly as they hated themselves for being incapable. Mother, what exactly is wrong with your body? Yi Qingtang's eyes were filled with worry. Tang Tang, do you know why the Grand Ancient Dynasty declined back then? Moe suddenly asked. Yi Qingtang shook her head. Including her, the entire central mainland had very little understanding of the ancient dynasty. The royals of the ancient dynasty were supreme powerful figures, and they are not in the least inferior even if they were in the current age. This is all reliant on the netherworld bloodline of my clan, Moe said. Netherworld bloodline? Yi Qingtang was surprised. The netherworld bloodline was an extremely rare and immensely powerful bloodline. It was rumored that the netherworld bloodline came from the god of the netherworld. He was a god that drifted between life and death and found joy in death. Anyone who possessed the netherworld bloodline could use the god of the netherworld's powers and become exceptionally powerful, but one would have to pay the price with their lives every time they used his powers. The more frequent the usage, the shorter one's lifespan. At this moment, Yi Qingtang finally realized the reason behind the ancient dynasty's fall. Perhaps they were powerful, but their power was at the cost of their lifespan. Moreover, it was rumored that it was extremely tough for those with the netherworld bloodline to reproduce. Thus, this also resulted in the difficulty for the ancient dynasty to prolong. Chapter 1463 Death Wish 2 No wonder. No wonder Moe gave off such a frail feeling. Moe could only repress Jiang Shun and the rest because she used the powers of the netherworld bloodline. After the ancient dynasty fell back then, the remaining clan members hid themselves, and only a few people remained after thousands of years. Almost the entire clan was wiped out. However, that Holy Lord of Shadows suddenly appeared in the central mainland back then. An elder from my clan pleaded for a life-prolonging medicine from the Holy Lord of Shadows, which prevented the complete extermination of my clan. The medicine contained in the medicine gourd was left behind by the Holy Lord of Shadows back then. When I was pregnant with you, I was worried that you would inherit the netherworld bloodline as well. But I can rest assured now. Moe raised her hand and touched Yi Qingtang's head. The netherworld bloodline had both advantages and disadvantages. However, she did not hope for her own daughter to have this bloodline. Yi Qingtang was slightly taken aback. The Holy Lord of Shadows? That medicine was given by the Holy Lord of Shadows? The Holy Lord of Shadows came from the second domain and was an undead. Perhaps she knew many things regarding the netherworld bloodline, and perhaps the Holy Lord of Shadows knew about more things that could restrain the netherworld bloodline apart from that medicine. If she returned to the Temple of Shadows, perhaps she could find other ways. However, thinking about this stuff now was too early. Tang, those people outside cannot do anything about me. If they really have the ability, I wouldn't be able to live until this day. You can leave first. Moe persuaded. She was already elated to see her long-lost daughter. Yi Qingtang shook her head. At such a time, she would not leave regardless of what Moe said. Moe's complexion became increasingly pale. She would not be able to sustain this barrier for long. Then, Moe coughed violently, and the defense barrier outside began to collapse. Jiang Qin and the rest outside the door noticed the weakening of that barrier, and their eyes glistened. The subtle sound made its way into everyone's ears. As they watched the barrier surrounding the house disappear slowly, the smiles in their eyes deepened gradually. The barrier is broken. Let's charge in. Jiang Qin exclaimed eagerly. Jiang Shun and the rest walked up immediately. With a loud bang, the door suddenly burst open with a huge force. Moe sat in the room and looked at these people coldly. As long as she was still alive, she would not allow them to touch Yi Qingtang. Moe, today is your death day. Jiang Qin snickered as she looked at the increasingly frail Moe. Yi Qingtang suddenly moved forward and stood in front of Moe. Although she was not her biological daughter, she was very clear that Moe wanted to protect her. Since she used this identity, Moe was her mother. Yi Qingtang analyzed the situation quickly. She was still unaware if her last card could protect Moe. Surprise flashed across Moe's eyes when she saw Yi Qingtang shielding her, and her eyes reddened slightly when the surprise faded. Moe had seen all the ugly sides of humans. In crises, even one's own flesh and blood could flee for their life alone, yet her daughter was this nice. Yi Qingtang lifted her chin slightly, and her gaze was as sharp as knives. Holding the sword across her body, She spoke coldly. Go over my dead body first if you want to hurt my mother. Since she enjoyed Moe's motherly love, she was Moe's daughter now, and she had to repay this kindness. Yi Qingtang, I think you have a death wish. Since you wish to die so eagerly, I will fulfill your wishes. Once I kill you, I will slay your mother. Jiang Qin snickered as wickedness pervaded her eyes. Chapter 1464 Death Wish 3. In the next second, Jiang Qin leaped up and bolted straight toward Yi Qingtang. Moe's expression changed, and she wanted to step up to take that blow. However, after being severely injured earlier on and forcefully implementing the barrier, which worsened her injuries further, blood seeped out of her mouth as she stood up in a flurry. Yi Qingtang took a deep breath, and all her strength reached the maximum at this point as she swore to fight Jiang Qin to the end. Yi looked at this scene from afar, and her eyes were filled with smiles. It was as though she turned into Jiang Qin at this moment as she cast the shadow of death over Yi Qingtang. Kill her. But the moment when Jiang Qin rushed to Yi Qingtang, a bolt of lightning shot down from the sky abruptly. That deafening sound immediately lit up the dim courtyard. The strike of lightning directly blocked Jiang Qin's route. Seeing that familiar flash, Jiang Qin was alarmed and hurriedly retreated backward. However, the lightning strike seemed to have a spiritual nature, and numerous bolts continuously chased after Jiang Qin and struck at her. Any part of the ground that the lightning struck became charred and stirred up a storm of dust. Several shadows suddenly appeared in the sky along with that lightning. Jiang Qin, you have a death wish. An emotionless yell suddenly sounded from the sky. Jiang Qin steadied herself and looked in the direction of the voice. Only see, a stunning-looking man in a bloody robe standing in midair. His striking appearance bore some resemblance with Jiang Shun and Jiang Lu but had additional hints of wildness. Jiang Lang, Jiang Qin trembled slightly when she saw that man. Even Jiang Shun and the others in the courtyard were shocked as well. Jiang Lang is back? Why is he so fast? Like a devil that crawled out from hell, Jiang Lang's body was coated with blood, and his clean face was stained with large traces of blood. Fresh blood dripped down from his dark hair, and the strong smell of blood rushed into everyone's nose. There were 4 men in ghost masks and black armor behind Jiang Lang. Yi Qingtang looked up in surprise at the handsome man in the sky. That man's gaze coincidentally landed on her as well, but shifting his gaze slightly he saw Moe, who was standing behind Yi Qingtang. When he noticed Moe's frail appearance and the blood seeping out from the corner of her lips, Jiang Lang's eyes turned bloodshot immediately. Jiang Qin, it'll take your life. Jiang Lang flew down, and his body seemed to be surrounded by lightning as he charged towards the stunned Jiang Qin. Brother, what are you doing? Jiang Shun was alarmed to see the murderous Jiang Lang attacking Jiang Qin. Jiang Qin turned pale instantly as she saw a berserk Jiang Lang. Never had she thought that Jiang Lang would suddenly appear at such a timing. She is your younger sister. Jiang Lang, are you crazy? Jiang Shun shouted. Yet, nothing entered Jiang Lang's ears as he used lightning as a pike and struck at Jiang Qin successively. Seeing that Jiang Qin was being attacked, Tuoba Yao was alarmed and hurriedly went up but was blocked by the 4 demon-masked guards brought by Jiang Lang. Jiang Lang, stop. Do you want to kill your own family? Jiang Shun's expression changed drastically as he rushed to Jiang Qin's front and took a blow from the infuriated Jiang Lang with difficulty. Get lost. Jiang Lang's eyes were bloodshot like that of a wild beast as his emotionless eyes swept across Jiang Shun coldly. Chapter 1465 Wild 1, Eldest Brother. Jiang Qin's face was extremely pale as she stood behind Jiang Shun nervously. All the prior arrogance and conceitedness was absent. Jiang Lang was a lunatic and everyone in the Jiang family knew about it. In the entire Jiang family, Jiang Lang did not have any respect for anyone, and only the domain monarch could somewhat repress Jiang Lang. They wanted to join forces to attack Moe and Yi Qingtang earlier on because they relied on the fact that Jiang Lang was not present. Who would have thought? He was actually back. Jiang Lang, calm down. She is your younger sister. Jiang Shun reproached coldly. Younger sister? Jiang Lang's lips curled into a sarcastic smile. I dare to kill anyone who dares to harm even if that person is a god. Younger sister, so what? You're insane. Jiang Shun frowned and spoke. There is a reason for today's incident. Do you know what Moe did? She injured Yiming and even proclaimed that she wanted to dig Yu's spirit root. Injured Yiming? Jiang Lang's expression remained the same, but his gaze swept across Jiang Shun. That's right. So all of you are here to kill my wife. Jiang Lang's tone changed suddenly. Jiang Shun was taken aback. Before he could react in time, Jiang Lang stabbed straight toward Jiang Shun's heart directly. Jiang Shun retreated hurriedly as disbelief was written all over his face. You want to kill me? Jiang Shun glared at Jiang Lang. They were biological brothers. Moe was merely Jiang Lang's wife. No. Jiang Lang laughed when he saw that he failed to get Jiang Shun in a move, and his bloodshot eyes swept across everyone at the scene. I want to kill all of you. Then, Jiang Lang struck with his spike without any leniency. He had never borne to let his wife suffer any injustice. How dare they hurt her? Jiang Lang was extremely talented, and his martial comprehension skills were very high. In the past few years outside, he had been fighting with his life on the line, and all the techniques he trained out were killing moves. Jiang Shun broke out in a cold sweat as he was cornered by Jiang Lang, and he continuously cussed the lunatic Jiang Lang in his heart. Yi Qingtang's eyes were filled with astonishment when she saw the change of events. Don't be afraid. Moe's voice suddenly traveled from behind Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang turned around slightly, and Moe walked to her side strenuously. That is your father. Everyone in this world can be afraid of him, but we don't have to. Moe's eyes were permeated with warmth and gentleness as she looked at the man in the battle. Yi Qingtang could not help but lament in her heart when she saw Moe's expression. This infamous couple was not heartless. It was just that their emotions were solely devoted to one person for their entire lives. Jiang Qin and the rest fought Moe for a long time earlier on and had used up much energy. Currently, Jiang Lang was on a rampage and attacking everyone crazily. In addition, the 4 demon-masked guards that Jiang Lang brought back were highly skilled as well, so Jiang Qin and the rest felt the strain immediately. As Yi Yu watched the scene from afar, the smile on her face had gradually fallen apart. That is Jiang Lang? Yi Sun swallowed her saliva silently as she looked at the demonized Jiang Lang. Previously, she felt that Moe was already very frightening, but who would have thought that Jiang Lang was even more terrifying? He was actually merciless to his siblings and attacked them with lethal moves just for a woman. Yi Yu gritted her teeth in silence. First, and then Jiang Lang. Why does Yi Qingtang have such a good life? If Jiang Lang had come any later, Yi Qingtang would definitely have died. Chapter 1466 Wild 2 The present situation was very disadvantageous for Jiang Lang and the rest as Jiang Lang was like a crazed beast. Beidou Demon Lord silently swallowed her saliva when he saw the battlefield situation. Stop all of you! A low shout traveled into everyone's ears suddenly, and a repressive force followed instantly. Both parties in the battle trembled when they heard that voice, and their actions halted for a moment. A shocked elder Su was standing at the entrance of the courtyard with a gray-haired elderly. That elderly's brows were tightly furrowed as his gaze swept across the chaotic scene. Uncle! Jiang Shun was delighted when he saw the elderly. That elderly was Jiang Kai, the elder brother of Domain Monarch and the uncle of Jiang Shun. Are you all done messing around? How unbecoming is it to cause such a huge ruckus in the Jiang family? Jiang Kai shouted coldly, and a look of displease could be seen on his face. The Domain Monarch's siblings had high statuses in the Jiang family, and their skills were significantly higher than Jiang Shun's generation. The Jiang family had an extensive influence in this entire mainland while the Domain Monarch siblings were mostly guarded outside. Yet, unexpectedly, Jiang Kai was back today. Jiang Qin and the rest did not dare to revolt before Jiang Kai, and only Jiang Lang's bloodshot eyes were filled with a murderous look. Jiang Lang, look at you now! Jiang Kai frowned while looking at Jiang Lang. He was very dissatisfied with this undisciplined younger generation. Jiang Lang was not this deranged back then, but after he married Moe, the couple became increasingly unbridled. They even killed Elder Meng's son and left the Jiang family. Jiang Lang looked at Jiang Kai coldly. But, do you still want me to make a move? Jiang Kai snickered, and a repressive force disseminated from his body instantly. Under the repression, Jiang Lang turned pale slightly, but his eyes were like that of an unrestrained beast. What's going on with you all? Elder Su had a perplexed look. The ancient Yu clan had some activity as the domain monarch was about to come out from seclusion. Thus, the domain monarch's siblings began returning to the head family. Elder Su felt that he had only left for a mere day, but why did the Jiang family become like this? Uncle, Jiang Lang is crazy. He wants to kill me and eldest brother. Jiang Qin immediately lodged a complaint when she saw Jiang Kai. The Jiang family had its own rules. No matter how they acted to outsiders, internal killing was strictly forbidden. Jiang Kai's eyes dimmed. You all joined forces to harm my wife and daughter. So what if I kill you all? Jiang Lang snickered. Jiang Lang. Jiang Kai's expression darkened. He was still present, but Jiang Lang still dared to be so insolent. You have been away for many years, and you attacked your siblings the moment you returned. Have you forgotten the Jiang family's rules? Family rules? If they did abide by the family rules, why would they attack my wife and daughters so cruelly? Jiang Lang said coldly. Jiang Kai's gaze swept across Jiang Qin and the rest before looking at Moe and Yi Qingting. Uncle, we did not. Moe was the one who attacked first. She injured Yiming. Eldest brother and I were angry and came to reason with her, but she suddenly attacked us. Uncle, if you don't believe it, you can go and look at Yiming. Moe's attack was extremely fierce, and Yiming is completely crippled now, Jiang Qin said quickly. Jiang Yiming was indeed injured, and Moe could not push the blame. Since Moe was the one who attacked first and violated the rules, there was nothing wrong for them to approach her. Please go to https://www. Novel updates. cc/Rebirth of the Strongest Empress / to read the latest chapters for free. Chapter 1467. Wild 3. Elder Meng stepped forward and said, "That's right. It's Moe who violated the rules first today, so we came to reason with her. Who knew that she did not repent and was even more insolent and started attacking us? We never thought of hurting the two of them and were only acting according to the family rules." The Jiang family's Hall of Discipline was initially managed by Jiang Kai, and the management rights were handed to Elder Meng only after Jiang Kai left the headquarters. Elder Meng understood Jiang Kai very well and knew that he hated people who violated the family rules the most. Thus, he made use of that point. Furthermore, the departure of Jiang Lang and his wife from the house had already caused Jiang Kai's dissatisfaction. If not for the domain monarch choosing not to pursue this matter, Jiang Kai would already have caught the two of them back to the Jiang family to punish them according to the family rules. As expected, Jiang Kai's expression darkened increasingly. People, Jiang Kai said suddenly. Send the three of them to jail. Jiang Lang, it's time for someone to teach you about the rules. I will not probe about your actions outside, but in the Jiang family, Jiang Kai squinted. Then, the group of guards that came with Jiang Kai moved forward. Jiang Lang immediately led his men and stood in front of Yi Qingtang and Moe. Jiang Lang, what are you doing? Jiang Kai had a displeased expression. Don't think of touching my wife and daughter. Jiang Lang scoffed. Bastard. Jiang Kai was infuriated. If you don't abide by the rules, do you believe that I will break your leg? Jiang Lang chuckled but did not move an inch. Jiang Qin and the rest snickered secretly when they saw the situation before them. The only fault was that Jiang Lang and the rest acted too arrogantly, and they landed in Jiang Kai's hands now. Jiang Kai disliked this couple from the start and all the more would not let them off so easily today. What's going on? Such anger. A lazy voice was suddenly heard. A lady with gray hair and a youthful complexion walked into the courtyard slowly with a wine gourd hanging on her waist. Although her hair was white, she was dressed in an alluring manner, and her gorgeous features made her look at most around 30 years old. However, this lady was about the same age as Jiang Kai. She was the younger sister of the domain monarch and Jiang Kai, Jiang Sun. Jiang Sun frowned uncontrollably at the sight of Jiang Sun. Jiang Qin and the others initially had a pleased expression but were also in a daze when they saw Jiang Sun. Aunt Jiang Lang, who was exuding a murderous air, called Jiang Sun at this instant, however. "Brat, you finally know to come back already? I doted on you for so many years for nothing. You really should be beaten for leaving just like that." Jiang Sun shot Jiang Lang a look. She seemed to be dissatisfied from her tone, but there was no reproach in her words. Jiang Lang opened his mouth but did not say anything. Jiang Sun scanned the surroundings and subsequently spoke to those guards. "You all are becoming bolder. How dare you touch your master? Are you all tired of living?" A cold glint flashed across Jiang Sun's eyes when she spoke. Those guards felt a cold shudder when contacted by Jiang Sun's cold gaze and retreated instinctively. Jiang Kai frowned slightly. "Why are you all retreating? Catch the three of them." The guards looked at Jiang Sun hesitantly. Yet, Jiang Sun chuckled. "Let me see who dares to move." The guards broke down internally. There were two senior members here, and one said to catch while the other said to not. What should they do? "Third sister, then you spoiled Jiang Lang all these years, and look at what he has become. If he dares to attack his siblings now, won't he cause huge chaos in the future?" Jiang Kai looked at Jiang Sun with a disgruntled expression. 1468 The familial tradition of protection. The domain monarch was obsessed with martial arts and did not have much time to discipline his children. Jiang Sun looked after Jiang Lang when he was young, and given her perverse nature, she indulged his behavior greatly. "But can I not spoil my own nephew? Eldest brother, aren't you caring too much?" Jiang Sun chuckled. Jiang Kai and Jiang Sun were two extremes. One stuck by conventions strictly while the other was indulgent. Even when they were young, they had not seen eye to eye with each other. "I can't be bothered to bullshit with you. The three of them must be punished today." Jiang Kai was unwilling to waste time talking to Jiang Sun. Jiang Sun snickered. "I want to see who dares to touch Lang and his family in front of me. Are you protecting them?" Jiang Kai's expression darkened. "That's right." Jiang Sun raised a brow. Looking at the arrogant Jiang Sun, Yi Qingtang vaguely understood why the Jiang family would produce such a madman like Jiang Lang. "Lang, come over you all." Jiang Sun completely ignored Jiang Kai's increasingly ugly expression and waved at Jiang Lang. Jiang Lang walked to Jiang Sun's back immediately with Moe and the rest. "I heard that your child is found?" Jiang Sun asked with a smile. "Yes, aunt." Jiang Lang nodded. Jiang Sun looked back and was slightly dazed as she stared at Beidou Demon Lord. She's so big already. Although she is much bulkier, she does have a very beautiful face." The tall and mighty Beidou Demon Lord was dumbfounded from the praise. Yi Qingtang, who was blocked by Beidou Demon Lord, stared blankly. "Aunt, this is then our daughter." Moe seemed to be used to it and simply pulled Yi Qingtang to Jiang Sun's side. Jiang Sun was obsessed with cultivation when she was young and almost blinded her eyes. Although her eyes were safe now, her vision was extremely blurry, and she could only faintly see light. She relied on her perception to identify people most of the time. "Ha! So this is her. What a beautiful little fellow." Jiang Sun laughed. Yi Qingtang was silent. In her grandaunt's eyes, her beauty was no different from Beidou Demon Lord's. As Jiang Kai looked at the harmonious and joyful scene with Jiang Sun and Yi Qingtang's family, his expression darkened to the extreme. Jiang Qin was, of course, unwilling to see Jiang Sun protecting Jiang Lang and the rest. "Aunt, it's not that we wanted to do anything to second brother. It's just that second sister-in-law injured Yiming, so we—" Jiang Sun tugged her lips impatiently. "Injured means injured. Is there anything wrong with a senior teaching a junior?" Jiang Qin opened her mouth but could not say anything. Moe is Lang's wife and is naturally Yiming's senior. If a junior is disobedient, it is a common thing to teach him. Yet, the few of you made such a ruckus over this. Aren't you all the ones who disobeyed the rules? Jiang Sun said coldly. Jiang Qin's expression froze. Jiang Kai said, "It is a fact that Jiang Lang attempted to kill his siblings. Although I came late, I still heard some parts of the conversation. If the few of you did not cause trouble to Moe and her daughter, why would Lang be this furious? In my opinion, they were the ones who violated the family rules as they wanted to harm someone else's wife and daughter over a small matter. Which loving man in this world will not be angry? I think that Lang is not wrong at all. They are the ones who are wrong instead." Jiang Sun had an expression that implied that Jiang Lang was right, which made Jiang Kai's blood boil. Yi Qingtang finally saw a reasonable person in the Jiang family. Although Jiang Sun was brash, everything she said was reasonable. "I'm not going to bullshit with you. You better move aside and not be nosy," Jiang Kai said in a low voice immediately after failing to outspeak Jiang Sun. 1469 The familial tradition of protection 2-inch I am bent on being nosy. Jiang Sun snickered. "Don't blame me for being impolite then." There was a movement of air in Jiang Kai's palm as though he wanted to make a move personally. Jiang Sun's lips curled into a snicker. "I haven't exchanged blows with eldest brother for a long time already. Today is a chance to move my bones." Seeing that Jiang Sun and Jiang Kai were about to fight, Elder Su was very vexed. Although he did not know what happened, he faintly felt that this was related to Yi Yu and Yi Qingtang. If Jiang Sun and Jiang Kai fought, boom. A loud sound almost pierced through everyone's eardrums, and Jiang Sun and Jiang Kai halted because of that sound as well. A golden light suddenly spread out from the mountain behind the Jiang residence, and everyone was shaken by that golden light. Is the domain monarch out of seclusion? An expression of delight suddenly appeared on Elder Zu's face when he saw that golden light. The golden light stretched across the horizon and gathered into a figure, which landed in the Jiang residence. With a blaring bang, that figure landed in the disorderly courtyard instantly. The people in the courtyard kneeled down and greeted the golden figure. "Greetings, domain monarch." In the encirclement of the golden light, the tall and handsome domain monarch looked at the people without any emotions as he glanced at the wrecked courtyard. "Why are you all making a ruckus here?" Domain monarch asked in a deep tone. Even Jiang Sun and Jiang Kai were more restrained in front of the domain monarch now. In the Jiang family, no one could sway the dignity of the domain monarch. Elder Su heaved a sigh of relief when he saw the domain monarch and immediately notified him of what happened previously. Yi Qingtang was slightly shaken when she saw the domain monarch's figure. Although she had heard of the domain monarch in her previous lifetime, she had not seen him before. Just by seeing him there now, she already felt a powerful repressive force. This was just released by him unintentionally and was greatly repressed. Had he not repressed it, the power of this force would be unfathomable. The domain monarch frowned slightly when he heard Elder Su, and he glanced at Jiang Lang. Yi Qingtang could not help but break out in a cold sweat as she did not know what domain monarch's attitude toward this incident was. Domain monarch, Jiang Lang violated the family rules repeatedly. "It is truly abominable," Elder Meng said. Jiang Sun scoffed. "Violated the family rules repeatedly? Why do you say so, Elder Meng? This beginning cause of this incident is Yi Yu. If Yi Yu did not steal Yi Qingtang's spirit root, how would things become this state?" Jiang Sun did not know the cause previously but learned from Elder Su that Yi Yu stole Yi Qingtang's spirit root. This happened when the two of them were in another clan. Furthermore, it was Yi Yu's grandfather who did it, and it has nothing to do with Yi Yu. Yet, Moe injured Yiming in the Jiang family, violating the rules deliberately. She is doubly guilty. Elder Meng would definitely not let go of this chance. If someone did not have a guilty conscience and incited Jiang Yiming to stir trouble, how would things become this way? Jiang Sun snickered. "Shut up," said the domain monarch in a low tone. Everyone kept quiet immediately. No one dared to rebel before the domain monarch. The domain monarch's expression remained the same, but his eyes suddenly looked toward the entrance of the courtyard. Yi Yu and Yi Sun, who had been hiding in a corner, entered the domain monarch's sight and were stricken with panic when they noticed the domain monarch's gaze. Yu hurriedly calmed down before walking toward the domain monarch obediently and kneeling down gently. Grandfather, Yu returned to the Jiang family a long time ago and met the domain monarch once before he went into seclusion. 1470 The familial tradition of protection. 3 The domain monarch looked at the group of people expressionlessly and said, "How ridiculous." Everyone was alarmed. Regardless of what happened before, both of them are back in the Jiang family now and share the bloodline of the same clan. Stop making a scene. Father, Jiang Lang heard the domain monarch's meaning and wanted to say something. Domain monarch cast him a look. Do you not understand what I said? Jiang Lang clenched his fists secretly and gritted his teeth. Yu heaved a huge sigh of relief, and delight filled her. Second brother, father has already spoken. Are you still going to cause trouble without reason? This has nothing to do with you from the start, but you all even injured Yiming, and all his cultivation base is gone. Jiang Qin immediately spoke about Jiang Yiming in hopes that the domain monarch would be infuriated. I will look for people to treat Yiming's injuries. There's no need to mention this incident anymore, said the domain monarch in a deep voice. Although the domain monarch said he would look for people to treat the injuries, the domain monarch did not say anything about punishing Moe, the culprit. Jiang Qin was dumbstruck. Even Jiang Shun did not expect such an outcome. Was Moe's crime passed over just like that? But Jiang Qin still wanted to say something, but with a look from the domain monarch, the remaining words were stuck in her throat, and she did not dare to utter another word. You, the domain monarch said suddenly. Yu looked up obediently. The domain monarch said, "Apologize to her." The domain monarch raised his finger and pointed at Yi Qingtang. The spirit root was in Yi Yu's body now, and the domain monarch neither wanted to dig Yi Yu's spirit root out to return to Yi Qingtang nor hoped to see his children continue fighting over this matter. Yi Yu was dumbfounded. What is going on? Yi Qingtang was relieved when she heard the domain monarch. This domain monarch handled the situation impartially and was not biased to any party. This was the best outcome. Yi Qingtang did not think that the domain monarch would really agree with Jiang Lang's idea of digging out Yi Yu's spirit root. After all, to the domain monarch, they were all his bloodline, and killing each other was strictly forbidden. However, Yi Qingtang wanted to laugh as Yi Yu was made to apologize in public. She would personally dig out Yi Yu's spirit root sooner or later, and there was no hurry to do it now. Furthermore, she did not wish to implicate Jiang Lang and his wife because of this matter. Yi Yu, who originally thought she could extricate herself from this incident, turned pale. She looked at Jiang Qin instinctively, who did not dare to speak much although she was dissatisfied. The domain monarch has already spoken. Who could go against him? Yield to Yi Qingtang in public? And even apologize to her? Just the thought of it made Yi Yu's blood boil. Since young, she did not have any respect for Yi Qingtang and even looked down on her. But now, Yi Yu clenched her fists secretly. In the domain monarch's presence, no matter how unwilling she was, she had no choice but to apologize. Then, Yi Yu took a deep breath and wore an obedient expression. Yes, I'll do as you say. Subsequently, Yi Yu turned around and walked toward Yi Qingtang as her head throbbed painfully at the sight of Yi Qingtang's face. She took a few steps forward, but the words of apology seemed to be stuck in her throat and inflamed her throat. Yi Yu's acting ability was amazing, otherwise, she would not have been able to coax Jiang Qin to treat herself as her own daughter. However, the only person in this world who made her unable to keep up with the pretense was Yi Qingtang. On what basis? Must she apologize to Yi Qingtang? While that was how she felt on the inside, she was under the watch of everyone. She looked down and tried her best to not look at Yi Qingtang's face as her lips parted with struggle. 1471 Conclusion 1. Tang Tang, I'm sorry. A soft voice escaped Yi Yu's mouth. Yi Qingtang snickered internally but appeared terrified on the outside as she curled into Moe's embrace instinctively. What did you say? Yi Qingtang, who protected her mother courageously earlier on, was like a startled quail now. Her eyes were filled with terror as though she could not hear what Yi Yu said. Yi was in a slight daze, and a ball of fire rose within her instantly. Shameless. Yi Qingtang clearly heard it but was acting pitiful. Your grandfather told you to apologize. Show some sincerity at least. Who could hear what you say with that soft volume? If you don't want to listen to your grandfather to apologize, then forget it. Why act like you comply when you oppose him on the inside? Jiang Sun scorned. The domain monarch frowned slightly. Yi Yu's voice was very soft just now, and when he saw the trembling Yi Qingtang, who seemed to be startled previously, his heart softened. They were both children of this family. Looking at this child's behavior, she must have felt wronged. The domain monarch did not say anything, which implied a silent agreement that Yi Qingtang really did not hear Yi Yu's apology. Yi Yu almost broke her teeth from gritting them too tightly and could only say apologize once again. Tang Tang, the spirit root incident is my fault. Please forgive me. Her voice was slightly louder this time. Yi Qingtang did not reply and merely laid in Moe's embrace in a frightened manner as though she was stunned from the battle earlier on. Jiang Qin and the rest were filled with anger when they saw Yi Qingtang's behavior. What is this little bitch acting for? She was still fighting them aggressively earlier on but is so delicate and pitiful now? Nonetheless, the domain monarch was present, and it was inconvenient for them to speak. Moe knew how fierce her daughter was just now, and seeing Yi Qingtang's current behavior, she wanted to laugh on the inside but put on a doting expression. Tang Tang, what happened to you? Are you startled? Please say something. Don't scare me. Her worry was evident from her anxious voice. The domain monarch frowned slightly. He had not seen Yi Qingtang before and did not know about this child's personality, thus, he did not find anything wrong when he saw her terrified behavior. The domain monarch remained silent still. Yi was about to explode from fury. This Yi Qingtang did it intentionally. She heard it from the start but is still acting. Although she clearly knew that Yi Qingtang wanted to embarrass her, Yi could not stop halfway and could only clench her teeth. Forcefully restraining her impulse to strangle Yi Qingtang, Yi squeezed out an apologetic look difficultly and spoke. Tang Tang, everything that happened before is my fault. Please forgive me. Yi almost suffered an internal injury after saying that. Seeing that it was about enough, Yi Qingtang finally seemed to return to her senses and nodded worryingly. You may be apologetic toward me, but I don't blame you. We are sisters of the same clan after all. Let bygones be bygones. How magnanimous and kind did she seem with that statement even while she secretly took a jab at Yi Yu. Ultimately, it was Yi Yu who did Yi Qingtang wrong. Yi Yu almost vomited blood out of anger as her fists hidden in her sleeves trembled from fury. Evidently, the domain monarch was very satisfied with Yi Qingtang's sensibility, and his impression of her became more favorable. Since this matter has ended, why are you all still standing here? The domain monarch said immediately after seeing that this incident was over. With this statement, both the spirit root incident and the crippling of Jiang Yiming's cultivation incident were put to a conclusion by him. 1472 Land of Infinite Demons. 1 Yi Qingtang gained 3 public apologies from Yi Yu at least. However, Jiang Yiming was crippled. Moe was a senior after all, and Jiang Yiming provoked Yi Qingtang first, thus, being beaten up was reasonable. Jiang Qin and the rest thought that they would definitely be at the advantage when the domain monarch came out from seclusion, but eventually they were at a great disadvantage. However, at this instant, no one dared to say anything and could only disperse. Since you're back, stay for some time then. Don't cause any more trouble, the domain monarch said before leaving. Although he spoke with a dignified tone, there were a few hints of fatherly care. Jiang Lang nodded silently. Seeing that everyone left, Jiang Sun followed Jiang Lang and his family back to the room. Moe's injuries were not light, and it was extremely strenuous for her to hold up until now. Jiang Lang's eyes turned red and were filled with worry when he saw it. Moe shook her head at Jiang Lang. I'm fine. You haven't seen our daughter properly yet. Jiang Lang started a massacre the moment he returned and really had not seen his long-lost daughter. He could not help but smile now that he saw Yi Qingtang. Furthermore, when he returned, he saw how Yi Qingtang protected Moe and liked her even more. Back then, we said that if we had a boy, we father and son would protect you. Now that our daughter has grown up, she can also protect her mother. Moe chuckled as she wiped off the traces of blood on her husband's face. Jiang Lang sighed. I returned late and let both of you suffer such great injustice. If I had returned earlier, I would definitely have dug out Yi Yu's spirit root before father comes out from seclusion. A sinister look flashed across Jiang Lang's eyes. Although the domain monarch stood up, Jiang Lang would not forget this score. Sooner or later, he would demand back whatever people owed his daughter. Calm down already. Your father has already stated his position today as he doesn't want you all to continue fighting on. Even if you really have any thoughts, you have to find a suitable opportunity, Jiang Sun said leisurely. She was very clear of the way that the domain monarch handled matters. He took an impartial approach without being biased to either party. Don't worry about my matters already. I will personally take this revenge in the future. Yi Qingtang liked these parents greatly as she felt the kinship that she had not felt in a long time. After the first mainland was devoured by little Yu Yun, her foster father and masters disappeared as well, and she seemed to have parted from familial warmth for a long time. Jiang Lang looked at Yi Qingtang with smiles in his eyes before looking at Jiang Sun. Aunt, why are you back today? Jiang Sun opened a wine gourd hung on her waist and replied after taking a mouthful of wine. The ancient Yu clan has been up to quite some things recently. Furthermore, isn't that day coming soon? That's why I'm back. That day? Yi Qingtang was confused, but Jiang Lang seemed to have thought about something. It's time to go to the land of infinite demons? Jiang Lang asked. Jiang Sun nodded lightly. Land of infinite demons? Yi Qingtang was taken aback when she heard the four words. The land of infinite demons was a forbidden area in the central mainland and was exceptionally dangerous. It was rumored that the land of infinite demons was the cemetery of various great demons where they gathered before they died. There was an unfathomable number of great demons buried in the land of infinite demons, and their names would strike terror amongst people. Before those great demons died, they would be able to sense that their life was coming to an end and would head to the land of infinite demons before they died. Furthermore, they would do all they could to plunder precious treasures to be buried with them. Over the accumulation of millions of years, the amount of treasure inside was unimaginable. Chapter 1473 Land of Infinite Demons 2 There were many demons in the world, but those that could be called great demons were above 10,000 years old. Those great demons were extremely formidable, and the majority of the Dharma treasures that once circulated in the world were stolen by the great demons and brought into the land of infinite demons. When they were alive, they reigned dominance and launched massacres. After they died, they possessed a myriad of treasures and buried them underground. The people in the central mainland knew that treasures were buried underground with numerous great demons in the land of infinite demons. If these treasures could be retrieved, they would be unfathomable. Regardless of which clan they were obtained by, it would allow the entire clan to hit the peak instantly. However, despite the great temptation, the land of infinite demons was exceptionally terrifying. Everlasting demonic air and numerous demonic creatures occupied the land of infinite demons, and anyone who entered it would barely make it out alive. Only the top ancient forces with strong foundations could enter the land of infinite demons. Perhaps one could only enter with the leadership of extremely formidable seniors. Otherwise, entering it would simply mean death. The land of infinite demons was not where numerous skeletons of great demons and funerary objects were buried, but it also took the lives of endless adventurers. Millions of years had passed, and to date, no one knew where the boundary of the land of infinite demons was. It was all the more unknown how many treasures were hidden and how many demonic creatures were gathered in this forbidden area. One of the few forces in the central mainland that had the ability to enter the land of infinite demons was the Jiang family. The Jiang family could elect a powerful clan senior during a specified time to lead some clan members into the land of infinite demons. This was to search for the treasures that were buried with the great demons as well as to toughen up the younger generation. Both Jiang Sun and Jiang Lang had been through the Land of Infinite Demons training. Although many years had passed, even Jiang Lang could not refrain from frowning when the Land of Infinite Demons was mentioned. "Aunt, are you leading the group this year?" Jiang Lang looked at Jiang Sun and asked curiously. Jiang Sun shook her head. "It's your fifth great-uncle." "Fifth great-uncle?" Jiang Lang was slightly taken aback. Jiang Lang's fifth great-uncle was the domain monarch's fifth uncle and was one generation older than Jiang Sun. There were few seniors of domain monarch remaining, as many of them lost their lives in the war with the second domain powerful figures back then. This fifth great-uncle was one of the elderlies who survived that war and was a clan senior in the Jiang family now. Even the domain monarch had to treat him respectfully. "My skills are sufficient to enter the Land of Infinite Demons alone. But if I have to lead a group of youngsters inside, how could I be able to hold up?" Jiang Sun was very clear about the danger of the Land of Infinite Demons. To lead the clan members into the Land of Infinite Demons, the person's skills must be top-notch. The domain monarch personally led the team a few years ago, but the ancient Yu clan was restless now, and he had to preside over the Jiang family. Thus, the role of the leader naturally landed on the fifth great-uncle. "Don't worry about these already. Your fifth great-uncle has never paid any attention to you. You won't have a share in the Land of Infinite Demons this year." Jiang Sun scoffed, but she seemed to be comforting Jiang Lang from her tone. "Moe is injured. You all can stay in the house to recuperate for these few days. Your father also said it already just now. Stay for some time first." Jiang Sun added. "However, after the conflict today, Jiang Qin and Jiang Shun should be thoroughly offended, and you all won't have an easy time living in the Jiang residence." Jiang Sun frowned slightly, and she could not help but worry. The pair of siblings did not dare to confront Jiang Lang's family head-to-head before the domain monarch, but causing trouble secretly could irritate them. Chapter 1474 Land of Infinite Demons 3. After all, Jiang Qin and Jiang Shun had always stayed in the Jiang family while Jiang Lang and his wife resided elsewhere permanently. "If they wish to die, I am happy to help." Jiang Lang scoffed coldly. A laugh escaped Jiang Sun's mouth as she shook her head. Her gaze suddenly landed on Yi Qingtang and said, "Brat, you are not as steady as your daughter. Little one, come here. Let Great Aunt take a close look at you." Yi Qingtang was silent. "Great Aunt, with that vision of yours, you will probably still find my face extremely blurry even if I stick my face on your eyes." But Yi Qingtang still went over obediently. Jiang Sun stretched her hand out to touch Yi Qingtang's physique, and a smile appeared on her face. "Not bad, you have good potential. It's just a spirit root. There are plenty of people who cultivate into a supreme figure without a spirit root." Yi Qingtang rubbed her nose secretly. Jiang Sun probably heard about the grudge between her and Yi Yu. Thus, she assumed that she did not have a spirit root. In reality, Yi Qingtang had a spirit root. Moreover, after leaving the one-star constellation, Yi Qingtang's spirit root advanced to the green spirit root and was only one step away from her original blue spirit root. There was laughter but also tears. Although the domain monarch's decision was impartial, Yi Yu began to sob when she returned to the room, and her pale face ached. "Jiang Qin. You have suffered today. Don't cry anymore. Rest assured, as long as that little bitch, Yi Qingtang, is in the Jiang family, I definitely will not let her have an easy time." Yi Yu wiped her tears and looked at Jiang Qin sorrowfully. "Aunt Qin, does grandfather not like me? I don't feel that I suffered. I'm just afraid that grandfather is dissatisfied with me. I just returned to the Jiang family, but my parents are not around anymore. My only relatives left are you all now. I'm very scared that grandfather is dissatisfied with me over this matter." Jiang Qin comforted her immediately. "Why would your grandfather not like you? You are so obedient and sensible. Today's incident happened all because of that Yi Qingtang. Who does she think she is?" Then, Jiang Qin looked at the sullen Jiang Shun, who was also extremely moody. "Eldest brother, is Yiming's incident really over just like that? He is your only son." Jiang Shun's expression darkened. "Of course not. It's time to head to the Land of Infinite Demons a few days later. I will give them back double the misery then. Jiang Qin's eyes lit up. Eldest brother, you mean, Jiang Shun said, the leader of the group into the land of infinite demons this time is fifth great uncle. A trace of delight emerged on Jiang Qin's face when she heard Jiang Shun. Jiang Shun's eldest uncle, Jiang Kai, grew up beside his fifth great uncle and was also regarded highly by him. Jiang Shun was jointly greatly adored by their fifth great uncle. Although Jiang Lang was very talented back then, he behaved outrageously. The domain monarch still thought highly of him, and ultimately, it was their fifth great uncle who came forward to reprimand Jiang Lang's misbehavior. Furthermore, he invested a lot of effort to train Jiang Shun. Thus, Jiang Shun possessed the authority to manage the family's affairs on behalf of the domain monarch. This is great. If fifth great uncle is the leader this time, by then, a thought struck Jiang Qin suddenly. Jiang Shun scoffed. Moe injured my son, and I will want her daughter to pay with her life. This incident was caused by Yi Qingtang from the start, and she ought to pay with her life. Jiang Qin chuckled. She wanted to see if Yi Qingtang could still make it out alive after entering the land of infinite demons. Chapter 1475 Land of Infinite Demons. For it was rare for Jiang Lang and his wife to return to the Jiang family, but there was nothing special. Moe has been recuperating and rarely left her room. Instead, to the great annoyance of Jiang Lang, those people in the Jiang family who were convinced by Jiang Shun and Jiang Qin spread a lot of gossips. In such situations, no one would be physically injured, but it was exasperating. If it was any other day, Jiang Lang would have confronted them a long time ago. However, Moe was not feeling well now, and he naturally prioritized his wife. Jiang Sun came over frequently as barely anyone could deal with her temper, but also so that she could help to nurse Moe back to health. As it got closer to the day to enter the land of infinite demons, many people in the Jiang family were itching to go. The land of infinite demons was dangerous, but it was a good place to toughen themselves up. Furthermore, the funerary objects that were buried together with the great demons were a temptation to anyone. The Jiang family clan members were all thinking of how to follow the team to enter the land of infinite demons right now. However, Yi Qingtang and her parents did not have much interest in this excitement. Yet life never went as one wished. The more one did not care about it, the more abrupt its arrival. What? Let Tang Tang go to the land of infinite demons? Jiang Sun's brows were furrowed tightly. Her gaze swept past the people in the hall and subsequently landed on that elderly in the top seat. That elderly had aged features and white hair, but his demeanor was very steady. His naturally fierce eyes had traces of his old age, but simply sitting there gave off a powerful oppressive force. This elderly was Jiang Shun's fifth great uncle and the domain monarch's fifth uncle, Jiang Shangyu. Since Yi Qingtang has acknowledged her ancestors, she is a part of the Jiang family. She is lucky. She just returned, and fifth uncle is leading a team to the land of infinite demons. We're giving her a chance to toughen herself up, and we hope that she will treasure this chance. Jiang Kai's face had a smile as he stood beside Jiang Shangyu. Eldest brother, since when were you so generous? Jiang Sun snickered. Jiang Qin, don't be impudent in front of fifth uncle. Jiang Kai shouted coldly. So many people wish to go to the land of infinite demons. How can I be harming her if I let her go? Furthermore, fifth uncle personally chose the people this time. Do you want to disobey fifth uncle? Jiang Sun gritted her teeth quietly. Bullshit. What for Yi Qingtang's sake? This Jiang Kai clearly wanted to stir up trouble. Jiang Sun was very aware of the relationship between Jiang Shangyu and Jiang Kai. Given Jiang Shangyu's character, he would not bring Yi Qingtang, who just returned to the Jiang family, into the land of infinite demons. Jiang Kai must have done something. Jiang Sun was clear about this fact, but Jiang Kai directly mentioned Jiang Shangyu now, and she could not say anything. Jiang Shangyu was a clan senior that even the domain monarch had to show courtesy to. Anyone who dared to go against him would be heavily punished. Fifth uncle, Tang Tang, just returned to the Jiang family and is still unclear of many things. Jiang Sun tried her best to convince him. Yet Jiang Shangyu was still emotionless. Jiang Qin, from aside, stood up and said, "Aunt, fifth uncle is doing this for the sake of Yi Qingteng. Since she doesn't know now, she will slowly know in the future. Tell her to come over and let her know of this matter so that she will be prepared and not act carelessly then." An evil scheme was hidden in Jiang Qin's words. In no time, Yi Qingtang was called to the hall. Jiang Lang and Mo were worried about their daughter and followed along. Chapter 1476 Land of Infinite Demons 5. The moment they arrived at the hall, they saw Jiang Sun's ugly expression, and an ominous feeling crept into their heart. "Greetings, fifth great uncle," Jiang Lang said. Jiang Shangyu took a look at Jiang Lang and nodded perfunctorily. "Second brother, you really must thank fifth great uncle today." Jiang Qin chuckled lightly when she saw Jiang Lang. Jiang Lang was disgusted by Jiang Qin's behavior. Fifth great uncle is personally leading the team into the land of infinite demons this time. Furthermore, fifth great uncle said that he will give your Tang Tang a chance to learn from experience and allow her to go to the land of infinite demons together this time. What? As expected, Jiang Lang's and Mo's expressions changed. Let Yi Qingtang go to the land of infinite demons? If it was a usual day, Jiang Lang and his wife might think that this was a pretty good decision, but now. As Jiang Lang looked at Jiang Kai, who was standing beside Jiang Shangyu, his heart seemed to be weighed down by a huge stone. Yi Qingtang, who stood behind Jiang Lang and Mo, looked at the scene and immediately understood everything. What a great Jiang Qin, what a great Jiang Shun. Yi Qingtang did hear of Jiang Shangyu's name before and was aware of his status in the Jiang family. Now that they requested Jiang Shangyu to make a move through Jiang Kai, Yi Qingtang was extremely clear of their motive. In the entire Jiang family, the only people who treated her well was Jiang Lang and Mo. In contrast, Jiang Qin and Jiang Shun hated her to the core, and they were in control of the Land of Infinite Demons expedition this time. It seemed that they were prepared to deal with her from a long time ago. Yi Qingtang could understand the situation, and so could Jiang Lang. His expression became increasingly ugly. Jiang Sun noticed that Jiang Lang seemed to be about to act up from aside and was alarmed. This is bad. The reason why Jiang Qin called Yi Qingtang over was probably to force Jiang Lang to go against Jiang Shangyu. If Jiang Lang really offended Jiang Shangyu, even the domain monarch would probably reprimand him as well. Jiang Sun's face was filled with worry. She wanted to persuade Jiang Lang before he acted up, but a figure stood in front of Jiang Lang before her. Yi Qingtang suddenly stepped forward and said to Jiang Shangyu, who was seated at the top position, "Thank you for your kindness, great-great-uncle. I definitely will not let you down." Jiang Lang, who was about to burst out in fury, was taken aback by what Yi Qingtang said. However, Jiang Qin frowned slightly. But thinking of the Land of Infinite Demons scheme, she did not say anything further. Jiang Shangyu saw that Yi Qingtang was relatively obedient and nodded slightly. He stood up and left after leaving them with some instructions. Seeing that Jiang Shangyu left, Jiang Qin and the rest took their leave as well but shot Yi Qingtang and her parents a scornful look before leaving. "Tang Tang, you cannot go to the Land of Infinite Demons," Jiang Lang said immediately. "Father, it is inappropriate if I don't go since great-great-uncle has personally spoken." Yi Qingtang agreed to it suddenly earlier on as she was worried that Jiang Lang would fall for Jiang Qin's scheme and get into a conflict with Jiang Shangyu directly. But Jiang Lang's brows were tightly furrowed as he was extremely worried for Yi Qingtang's safety. "Forget it. They'll risk it this time. Lang, I will accompany Tang Tang to the Land of Infinite Demons this time. With me around, Jiang Shun and the rest probably will not be able to stir up much trouble." Jiang Sun sighed. Jiang Kai would not go to the Land of Infinite Demons this time, and if Jiang Sun went, she could still look after Yi Qingtang. Chapter 1477 Elder Cabinet 1, Aunt. Jiang Lang was about to thank her. But Jiang Sun waved her hand. "Just take good care of Mo. Jiang Kai will still cause trouble for you all in the Jiang residence. Mo is unwell now. You need to restrain yourself. Look at you. You're very similar to the previous domain monarch. The previous domain monarch. Jiang Sun said, the previous domain monarch is our ancestor and also the first domain monarch of the Jiang family. He was extremely formidable and talented. That domain monarch was also a sentimental person who loved his wife deeply. However, his wife was frail, and she died in a battle against external enemies. Ever since then, the domain monarch founder tried all the means to revive her, but there was no news in the end. I heard that he seemed to have left the first domain in the end and headed to the second domain. The domain monarch founder was a legend of the Jiang family, and he pioneered the golden age of the Jiang family. When I was young, I heard some rumors regarding the domain monarch founder and knew that he was extremely talented, but I didn't know he still had such a side, Jiang Lang said. If he were still around, he would definitely like someone with a similar temperament like you, Jiang Sun said with a smile. It's a pity that there's no fate to meet him. Jiang Lang sighed. He had great respect for the domain monarch founder. Jiang Sun chatted with Jiang Lang and Mo for a while and then instructed Yi Qingtang to make the preparations. Since they were going to head to the land of infinite demons, it would be extremely dangerous, and there would still be many crises even with her protection. Yi Qingtang did not dare to be negligent either. She still had many things undone and did not wish to die in there. Those extraordinary talents from the Elder Cabinet will probably head to the land of infinite demons as well. However, they're usually haughty and probably will not interact with you much. You don't need to worry about them too much, Jiang Sun said suddenly. Elder Cabinet? A hint of confusion emerged in Yi Qingtang's eyes. Tang Tang just returned. I don't think she knows about the Elder Cabinet, Jiang Sun said with a smile. The Jiang family has a steady position as the domain monarch not because of fools like Jiang Yiming. You just returned to the Jiang family and have not seen many people. There's actually a lot of people in the Jiang family and many talented youths. However, those people were brought into the Elder Cabinet to be personally trained by a few cabinet elders after they were born. The Elder Cabinet was the backing of the Jiang family's power. Elder Meng and Elder Su, who Yi Qingtang saw, were only in charge of a few Jiang family's external matters, but the fundamentals of the Jiang family were a few cabinet elders in the Elder Cabinet. Those elders were obsessed with martial arts and had profound skills. Every time there was a newborn in the Jiang family, the cabinet elders would test the newborn's endowment with the domain monarch. If they had excellent endowments, they would be directly brought into the Elder Cabinet to be nurtured thoughtfully. Those talented youths who were personally brought up by the cabinet elders rarely appeared in other places of the Jiang family and were cultivating in the Elder Cabinet most of the time. The land of infinite demons was a good training ground, and the extraordinary talents in the Elder Cabinet would participate as well. Evidently, it was truly a good chance to go to the land of infinite demons. Ordinary disciples in the Jiang family did not have any chance to enter the land of infinite demons as it was extremely dangerous, and given their skills, they probably would not be able to return even if they entered. Yi Qingtang finally understood it when she heard Jiang Sun's explanation. She had been wondering why she had not seen any brilliant youths in the dignified domain monarch's clan. So it was because they were all being nurtured in the Elder Cabinet. Chapter 1478 Elder Cabinet 2 In reality, Yi Yu and Jiang Yiming were considered outstanding in ordinary family clans, but in the Jiang family, they had no qualifications to enter the Elder Cabinet. Yi Qingtang was thinking about this and did not notice that Jiang Lang and Mo were looking at her with a complicated expression. Their daughter could enter the Elder Cabinet originally as well. Regardless of her other endowments, she could enter it solely based on the variant heavenly demon bloodline in her body. However, their daughter was lost the moment she was born. Although she was found now, the people in the Elder Cabinet began training from young to ensure a stable foundation. Yet Yi Qingtang was left outside for over 10 years and, what's more, in the martially lacking First Mainland. Jiang Lang and his wife pondered about it but did not speak. Meanwhile, Elder Su passed through many corridors and arrived at the Elder Cabinet at the back of the Jiang residence. A cabinet elder was walking past the door right at that time, and he halted when he saw Elder Su. Elder Su walked forward and bowed. While both of them were Jiang family elders, a cabinet elder's position was incomparable. What is it? The cabinet elder looked at Elder Su and asked plainly. Elder Su said, "The people heading to the land of infinite demons this time are confirmed. May I know which juniors from the elder cabinet will be heading there?" Although Jiang Shangyu decided on the rough candidates, the junior candidates from the elder cabinet were not personally chosen by him and instead by the elder cabinet. The elder cabinet nurtured remarkable talents of the Jiang family and was the greatest backing of the Jiang family. All the finest cultivation conditions were also selected by the elder cabinet first. The cabinet elder pondered for a moment and said in a low voice, "Let Jiang Qi go then." Elder Su was slightly taken aback when he heard the cabinet elder. Then he seemed to recall something and spoke again. "There's another matter. Jiang Lang's daughter has returned to the Jiang family. Jiang Lu and I have already tested her bloodline and found that the heavenly demon bloodline in her body has mutated. I wonder if a variant heavenly demon bloodline was extremely rare, and the elder cabinet was rather regretful over the disappearance of Jiang Lang's daughter. If that child could be nurtured from young, perhaps she would be the greatest chip of the Jiang family." "Where did she grow up?" the cabinet elder asked. "It seems to be the first mainland." The cabinet elder frowned instinctively, and a trace of regret flashed across his eyes. "The first mainland's martial culture is too mediocre. It's truly a pity. If one did not build a solid foundation from young, it would be extremely difficult to break through to higher realms in the future." "She will be heading to the land of infinite demons this time as well," Elder Su said. The cabinet elder nodded lightly. Although she did waste over 10 years, the variant heavenly demon bloodline in her body is still there. Going to the land of infinite demons to train is good too. While the cabinet elder felt that it was regretful for that child with potential, he did not ignore the variant heavenly demon bloodline. If there were opportunities, perhaps it could still be reversed. "Does everyone know that she has a variant heavenly demon bloodline?" the cabinet elder asked. Elder Su shook his head. "Only Jiang Lu, the domain monarch, and I know about it. We were not told to let others know about this matter." "That's the best. There's no need to spread this news around before she is powerful enough. The Jiang family is known as the domain monarch's clan in the first domain, but many ancient clans secretly refuse to accept it. Since they could have sent people to steal the child away last time, we must be more guarded now," said the cabinet elder thoughtfully. Chapter 1479 Elder Cabinet 3 When Jiang Lang and Moe's daughter were just born, the domain monarch sensed the incubating variant heavenly demon bloodline in her body. However, this matter was not made public and extremely few people in the Jiang family knew about it. The domain monarch originally intended for the cabinet elders to check the child's endowments, but an accident happened unexpectedly and the child was lost. The domain monarch was infuriated over this matter and secretly sent people to search for the child's location without divulging the variant heavenly demon bloodline in the child. "When she returns from the land of infinite demons, bring her to the elder cabinet. I will look at her condition with other cabinet elders. The variant heavenly demon bloodline is too rare. If there's still a chance for reversal, we can invest our efforts on that child," the cabinet elder said seriously. Elder Su nodded lightly. The cabinet elders paid most attention to the endowments of the juniors in the Jiang family and almost never interfered in other matters. A few days later, it was the day for the selected members of the Jiang family to head to the land of infinite demons. Everyone finished packing and was ready to set off in the morning. Before they left, Mo placed a talisman in Yi Qingtang's hand. She brought that talisman from her ancient dynasty clan and had been using it as life protection as she had not returned to her clan for a long time since her marriage. Although Jiang Sun was going along this time, Mo was still worried and only reluctantly watched Yi Qingtang leave after warning her for a long time. About a few dozen people from the Jiang family headed to the land of infinite demons this time, including Yi Yu. Apart from Jiang Qin, Jiang Shun, and the people who Yi Qingtang had seen before, there were still some clan members of the Jiang family who she had never seen before who were also headed there. In the group, one youth stood out especially. He was the last to appear. Donned in white clothes, he had an aloof expression and striking features, but there was a distant aura to him. That is Jiang Qi. Jiang Sun whispered to Yi Qingtang after sensing that youth's aura. Jiang Qi? Yi Qingtang blanked out slightly at the sight of that familiar youth. In her previous life, after Yi Qingtang arrived in the central mainland, many people were after her life as her heart of the demon god was exposed. The Jiang family also sent many people to take Yi Qingtang's life as well, and in a certain pursuit, she was cornered into a desperate situation. Then, she met this youth called Jiang Qi after she barely escaped. Jiang Qi was already well known in this mainland at that time, and his skills were so formidable and superior to similar-aged counterparts. Yi Qingtang knew that he was from the Jiang family and originally thought that she would die. Unexpectedly, Jiang Qi looked at her indifferently and walked away as though he never noticed her. Yi Qingtang escaped from death that time. Compared to that time in her previous life, Jiang Qi was now younger, but his indifference was exactly the same. Jiang Qi stood aside silently in a supercilious manner as though everyone around him did not exist. Rather, many gazes gradually landed on him. Aunt Qin, that person is, you also noticed Jiang Qi. She had been in the Jiang family for such a long time but never met Jiang Qi before. Jiang Qin took a look and murmured, "That is Jiang Qi of the Elder Cabinet." Elder Cabinet. After Yi Yu entered the Jiang family, she did hear rumors about the Elder Cabinet too, but youths who could be personally chosen by the cabinet elders to enter the Elder Cabinet to cultivate were all top talents of the Jiang family. Chapter 1480 All-Pervading Demonic Air 1. Furthermore, the cultivation conditions in the Elder Cabinet were the best in the Jiang family. Anyone produced from the Elder Cabinet was a top expert of the Jiang family and was simply incomparable with other youths in the Jiang family like Jiang Yiming. Ambition emerged in Yi Yu's eyes. If she could enter the Elder Cabinet to cultivate. Aunt Qin, are all of the people who can enter the Elder Cabinet very powerful? Those like me probably will not have a chance in this lifetime, right? Yi Yu muttered as though she was aggrieved. Seeing Yi Yu's expression, Jiang Qin immediately persuaded, there's no need for self-pity. Those who can enter the Elder Cabinet to cultivate were personally selected by the cabinet elders since young and have always been training there. You are pretty talented. If you were born in the Jiang family, you would definitely be selected to enter the Elder Cabinet. It's just a pity. But you don't need to worry. Since you're back, I will naturally fight for the best cultivation opportunities for you. Jiang Qin always felt that Yi Yu had good endowments since she could cultivate to such a state even when she was in the lacking first mainland before. If she was in the Jiang family from the start, perhaps she could have entered the Elder Cabinet and reached a much higher cultivation realm than Jiang Yiming now. Aunt Qin, I just think that you are too nice to me. I want to become powerful sooner, so I can protect you in the future too, Yi Yu said gently, though a hint of coldness flashed across her eyes discreetly when she spotted Yi Qingtang from the corner of her eyes. The apology from that day was like a thorn buried in Yi Yu's heart. She would not easily forget that humiliation. Jiang Qin was gratified at Yi Yu's obedience. Sensing Yi Yu's line of sight, Jiang Qin could not help but sneer when she saw Yi Qingtang aside. You, don't worry. I definitely will not let Yi Qingtang make it out of the land of infinite demons alive. Yi Yu nodded obediently and looked down to sweep away the expression in her eyes. Aunt Qin, Yi Qingtang will not be able to enter the Elder Cabinet as well, right? Yi Yu asked suddenly. Yi Yu's endowments were considered pretty great, but her initial spirit root was inferior, thus, she stole Yi Qingtang's spirit root. If not for the support of that spirit root, it was simply impossible for her cultivation realm to increase so rapidly. Jiang Qin scoffed. Her? She's just a useless person who does not have a spirit root. Although a spirit root is not required in the central mainland, every youth selected by the Elder Cabinet is the finest talent. Since she is already missing a spirit root, how can she be selected by the Elder Cabinet? Yi Yu beamed and did not say anything else. Very soon, the Jiang family troops were about to set off. With Jiang Shangyu leading the troop at the front, The mighty troops left the Jiang residence rapidly. Beidou Demon Lord was not part of the Jiang family and could not tag along. Fortunately, most of his injuries were already healed. It was unknown when Yi Qingtang would return from this trip, and it was inappropriate for him to stay in the Jiang residence for long. He bade farewell to Yi Qingtang before she departed and then left the Jiang residence in search of a good location to cultivate with that bone of the dragon breath. This farewell was a turning point for the Beidou Demon Lord. With the bone of the dragon breath, he had a greater opportunity than last time. The next time they meet, he would become the majestic and renowned talent of the demon clan as last time and would obtain his deserving title of the Beidou Demon Lord. As the carriage moved, Yi Qingtang watched Beidou Demon Lord leave gradually with a slight smile. Chapter 1481 All-Pervading Demonic Air 2 The Land of Infinite Demons was situated in a concealed area in the central mainland. That area was surrounded by mountains where the continuous cliffs went on forever, and there was no sight of the end. The entrance to the Land of Infinite Demons was in between a steep canyon. Although there was a distance to the Land of Infinite Demons, there was already an all-pervading demonic air at the canyon. Withered grass filled the surroundings, and ordinary plants simply could not survive when blanketed with a strong demonic air. In the canyon, corpses were aplenty and scattered among the rocks. The Land of Infinite Demons was not just a place for exploration to the various human clans. Even other alien clans like the demonic creatures and great demons would enter this place as well. Once anyone entered the Land of Infinite Demons boundary, life and death were no longer what one could control. Over the millions of years, countless ghosts had died unjustly in the Land of Infinite Demons. At the entrance to the Land of Infinite Demons, a thick fog enveloped the entire forest, and the visible areas of the seemingly endless forest were very limited in the fog. Everyone stood at the entrance, and before entering, a suffocating demonic air at the boundary of the Land of Infinite Demons diffused outward continuously. That demonic air was mixed with a bone-piercing chill, and one could not help but shudder as it was blown along with the wind. Jiang Shangyu stood in front of everyone. As conceited as he was also extremely cautious in the face of the Land of Infinite Demons. When his gaze passed by the entrance, he realized that there was an evident trace of wreckage in the forest at the entrance. The big patch of grass seemed to be flattened by something, and the ground was in shambles. Decomposed flesh could be faintly seen under the fallen trees, and even the bones seemed to be stomped into shattered pieces as they were mashed together with the flesh. The smell of decomposed flesh combined in the demonic air was nauseating. Fifth great-uncle, this is... Jiang Shun had been to the Land of Infinite Demons before as well and sensed the abnormality of the entrance. He instinctively looked at Jiang Shangyu carefully. A month ago, the great demon of the frosty snow mountains was near the end of its lifespan. Someone once saw it heading toward the Land of Infinite Demons. Looking at the situation, it should have entered the Land of Infinite Demons. Jiang Shangyu scanned the haphazard ground. When a great demon was about to die, it would instinctively head to the Land of Infinite Demons to lay down its life. No one knew why they had such a habit either. They only knew that great demons would definitely bring piles of treasures along with them to the Land of Infinite Demons. The reason why the Jiang family decided to enter the Land of Infinite Demons at this time was that it heard of this news. The great demon of the frosty snow mountains. It's actually at the end of its lifespan? Jiang Qin was slightly stunned. The frosty snow mountains was rich in snow racer mushroom, a supreme-grade herb. However, that area was dominated by that great demon, and many family clans who wanted to pick the snow racer mushroom died in the hands of that great demon. Even when many family clans joined forces to invite skilled masters to kill it by offering a hefty reward, no one dared to take on the challenge. It was rumored that that great demon could swallow millions of people at a time and that its metal body and bones could not be penetrated. That's it. Jiang Shangyu nodded lightly. Everyone's eyes lit up. I wonder if that great demon entered the Forbidden Demon area, Jiang Shun said. The Land of Infinite Demons was extremely dangerous, but there was another such forbidden area in the Land of Infinite Demons. Known as the Forbidden Demon Area, If someone in the land of infinite demons had a 10% chance of survival, it was a hopeless zone with 0 chance of survival. Chapter 1482 All-Pervading Demonic Air 2. Even in all these years, numerous powerful figures entered the land of infinite demons, but no one dared to enter the forbidden demon area easily. It was rumored that a powerful figure in the Holy Venerate realm entered the forbidden demon area forcefully to explore the place, but there was no more news of them afterward. When powerful figures from the second domain invaded back then, many highly skilled experts were sent to enter it too, but eventually, no one made it out alive. That place was the true forbidden area, and before entering the land of infinite demons, various ancient clans would specially warn the clan members to not go near there. Probably not. But we still need to go in and take a look. The news of that great demon came a month ago, and it should already be dead now. That great demon's flesh and bones are rare treasures. It's best if we can obtain it before it decomposes, Jiang Shangyu said in a deep voice. Everyone was on full alert when they heard him. Even if the great demon had already decomposed, the funerary objects buried with him were also massive treasures. You all must be cautious after entering the land of infinite demons. The plants inside are very poisonous. Don't blame anyone else if you die inside if you ignore my commands and act on your own, Jiang Shangyu said coldly. After entering the land of infinite demons, even he would not be able to ensure the safety of others if anyone messed about. Everyone nodded successively. Jiang Qin's gaze passed Yi Qingtang, and she scoffed in her heart. The key was to find that great demon's corpse as quickly as possible. Anyway, Yi Qingtang would definitely die as long as she entered the land of infinite demons, and there was no hurry to get rid of her at this instant. Under Jiang Shangyu's lead, everyone entered the land of infinite demons. As they walked into the thin fog, the visibility was greatly reduced to less than a few meters. Thankfully, the visibility could only be increased by focusing their spirit energy to their eyes. Apart from the dangerous creatures in the land of infinite demons, even the demonic air in the air carried strong poison. If one's skills were not sufficient, one's internal organs would be destroyed by the poison just by taking a sniff of it. Yi Qingtang was only at the arcane supremacy 8th heaven realm, which was basically the lowest in the Jiang family troops. Jiang Sun feared that Yi Qingtang would not be able to withstand this poison and specially told her to consume a poison avoidance pill before they entered. Despite so, when that air entered her lungs, Yi Qingtang still felt that her throat seemed to be burned by something and had a sharp pain. Tang Tang, you must follow me closely, Jiang Sun said softly. Yi Qingtang nodded, and the little white tiger rested on her arm obediently this time as well. Fuck. There really is a lot of good stuff inside. The little white tiger used its nose. Its sense of smell was way better than humans, and it already smelled a strong odor the moment they entered the outer boundary of the land of infinite demons. In this dense, foggy forest, no one knew how many frightening things were lurking around in the dark. Everyone moved carefully, but the withered grass beneath their feet seemed to be covered in a soft and sticky substance that seeped out through the gaps of the grass when a slight force was applied. Yi Qingtang looked down and realized that the substance that seeped out was a maroon liquid with a strong smell of blood. That was the liquid produced after a corpse decomposed. Chapter 1483 The mantis stalks the cicada. Unaware of the oriole behind one, the forest in this area had almost been trampled flat, and the ground was in ruins. Along the way, Yi Qingtang and the others discovered the half-decomposed corpse of a small demon. Although it was a small demon, demons grew up to 5 or 6 meters high. Half of its body was terribly mangled as if it had been flattened by something. It's the small demon that accompanies that big demon from the frosty snow mountains. Jiang Shangyu paused to look at the half-decomposed corpse of the small demon. Most of the dominant big demons were accompanied by small demons. When the big demon in the frosty snow mountain headed for the land of infinite demons, hundreds of small demons accompanied it. They had formed formidable troops, which carried the big demon in a demon sedan. From the looks of it, the small demon's body had been crushed by the big demon's foot as they advanced. The big demon's body should be somewhere nearby, Jiang Shangyu said as he looked up. Everyone was on high alert. The big demon had died recently, and its flesh had not yet begun to decay. This was a rare treasure. It would be great if they could find it quickly. Jiang Shangyu's steps quickened. But after the group from the Jiang family walked for a while, they suddenly heard the sounds of an intense fight coming from the thick mist ahead. All they could see was a large swamp with nearly 100 figures involved in an intense fight. They were in the thick of the fight, but about 100 meters behind them, a huge black figure, as large as a mountain, could vaguely be seen lying motionlessly on the ground. The swamp had drowned many of the small demons' corpses. The small demons looked similar to those that Yi Qingtang and the others had encountered along the way. But now, these small demons were all dead and were slowly being engulfed by the swamp. When big demons entered the land of infinite demons, they usually brought along a horde of small demons. After they sent their treasure into the land of infinite demons, they would kill all the small demons almost as if to provide themselves with grave goods. Are those from the Cloud Valley clan and the Southern Peak clan? Jiang Sun squinted at the two sides that were embroiled in battle. He could identify them from their clothing. The Cloud Valley clan and the Southern Peak clan were both reclusive ancient clans of Central Mainland. However, both of them were very powerful and were two of the few ancient clans that were able to enter the land of infinite demons. These two ancient clans were on par in terms of power but usually minded their own business. However, they had somehow started fighting in the land of infinite demons. The Jiang family members were no fools. When they saw the corpses of the small demons and the huge black figure lying on the ground, they knew what was going on. The black figure was certainly the big demon from the frosty snow mountains. The two ancient clans must have simultaneously discovered the body of the large demon and ended up fighting over its body and its grave goods. The domain monarch's Jiang clan were probably not the only ones who had heard the news of the big demon of frosty snow mountain. Fifth great-uncle, what should we do? Jiang Shun looked at Jiang Shangyu. Well, wait and see, Jiang Shangyu said calmly, his lips curving in a chilly smile. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware that the oriole is behind him. The big demon had just died, and its entire body was essentially treasure. Anyone who obtained it could greatly boost their family's strength. No one would willingly let it go. The Cloud Valley clan and the Southern Peak clan were both very powerful. If they barged in, it would turn into a three-way fight. But if they waited for the two clans to defeat each other, the Jiangs might reap the benefits. With that, the Jiang family group hid their aura with the help of the demon aura in the area and waited for the two ancient clans to wear out each other. Chapter 1484. The mantis stalks the cicada. Unaware of the oriole behind the two ancient clans were about equal in strength and numbers. The fight was intense, but after a long time, the men from the Southern Peak clan slowly gained the upper hand. Many of the Cloud Valley clan were injured, and this put them at a disadvantage. Elder Yun, too many of our men are injured. If we carry on fighting, we will be at a disadvantage. A man from the Cloud Valley clan said. He was soaked in blood, and he looked grim when he saw more and more of his clansmen fall. Elder Yun's expression also grew somber. They had been the first to discover the body of the large demon but had not expected to encounter the Southern Peak clan here. The Cloud Valley clan had entered the land of infinite demons first and had used up much of their energy before that. This put them at a disadvantage when they fought the Southern Peak clan. In the land of infinite demons, the danger was not just the environment but also the other ancient clans with the same goals. The skin and flesh of the large demon made excellent medicine. If they could take some and refine it, it could improve a cultivator's foundation. Hence, neither ancient clan would abandon it lightly. The situation looked bad, and the Cloud Valley clan elder could not help but panic. Many members of their Cloud Valley clan had entered the place, but they had split up after a few days, giving the Southern Peak clan an opportunity. Dismayed, the Cloud Valley clan elder was determined to retreat. He secretly signaled to his clansmen and prepared to retreat in a particular direction. But they retreated right into the Jiang family's hiding place. Just as the Cloud Valley clan was prepared to turn and leave, they ran into Yi Yu and the others, who were secretly hiding there. Yi was not very powerful and had been hiding in a secret spot to watch. She had not expected the Cloud Valley clan to suddenly retreat and did not even have time to hide. Yi stood where she was, with a frozen expression on her face, staring at the Cloud Valley clan elder. It was an awkward situation. Elder Yun looked at the hidden Yi in shock. For the first time, he noticed the Jiang family crest on Yi's chest. Now that Yi's identity had been revealed, Jiang Shangyu saw that this was their chance, and he led the Jiang family group from their hiding place. Both the Cloud Valley clan and the Southern Peak clan looked conflicted when Jiang Shangyu and the rest appeared. The Cloud Valley clan had intended to retreat, but now, they did not want to leave anymore. The Southern Peak clan looked extremely grim. They thought that the big demon was theirs once they had forced the Cloud Valley clan to retreat. Who would have expected the Domain Monarch's Jiang clan to suddenly appear? The two ancient clans were no fools. When they saw the Jiang family emerge, they knew what was going on. The Jiang family had probably been hiding there for a long time. Yi was the first to reveal her identity. Now, she secretly retreated behind Jiang Qin. Jiang Shangyu had intended to emerge only after the Cloud Valley clan left and then to swoop down on the big demon's body before the Southern Peak clan could recuperate. He had not expected the plan to be brought forward. So it's our friends from the Jiang family. I suppose the Jiang family is also here for the big demon? Elder Yun from the Cloud Valley clan suddenly said with a smile. It was true that they were planning to leave, but now, the circumstances had changed. The Jiang family was here, which added another dimension to the fight for the big demon. No matter which of the three clans intended to seize the big demon, it first needed to defeat the other two families. (1485) The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. 3. Although the Cloud Valley clan had been greatly weakened, it could still fight. With the Jiang family and the Southern Peak clan holding each other in check, their chances of winning just increased a little. In a one-on-one fight, they could tell who would win. But in a three-way fight, no one was willing to strike the first blow. The family that stayed out of it while the other two fought would gain the advantage. The three clan leaders present all understood this. Right now, the Southern Peak clan was the angriest. They had almost gotten the big demon but had not expected the Jiang family to suddenly emerge and disrupt their plans. At that moment, Jiang Shangyu was not in a good mood. He could have obtained the big demon with minimal effort, but now that Yi had been discovered, their plan had to be brought forward. Since everyone's goal is the same, why don't we sit down and have a good talk? Elder Yun from the Cloud Valley clan said suddenly. Talk your head. The men from the Southern Peak clan just wanted to strangle the Cloud Valley clan. However, if they and the Cloud Valley clan fought to the bitter end, the Jiang family would win effortlessly. What do you want to talk about? Although the Southern Peak clan was inwardly castigating the cunning Elder Yun, they had no choice but to compromise. Even an idiot could tell that they had the edge over the Cloud Valley clan. If they insisted on taking the body alone, they would certainly have to fight the Jiang family. The Jiang family was currently at peak condition. The moment they started to fight, the Southern Peak clan would probably lose. Also, the Jiang family had been hiding, which clearly revealed their intentions. Now, the Southern Peak family had no choice but to stop the Cloud Valley clan from leaving to maintain the balance of the situation. Otherwise, the moment the Cloud Valley clan left, they would have to fight the Jiang family to the end. Right now, the Southern Peak clan could still fight, but they had just been through an intense battle and would certainly be at a disadvantage in another fight. After weighing up the situation, the two ancient clans that had been fighting bitterly now came to a consensus. Elder Yun saw that Jiang Shangyu still did not speak and thought that he had silently agreed to the plan. So he said, Our three families are all here for the big demon. Everyone should have a share. Why don't we divide the big demon's body and the grave goods into 3 equal shares, and everyone will take 1 share? We want the entire big demon, Jiang Shangyu said with a cold laugh. The two ancient clans looked grim when they heard Jiang Shangyu's words. At almost the same instant Jiang Shangyu finished speaking, the Jiang family charged. Within a moment, the three sides were embroiled in a fight. Jiang Shangyu ordered Jiang Shun to bring some men to the big demon's body while he led the rest to hamper the two clans. The two clans had already sustained heavy losses. Now as they encountered the Jiang family, they rapidly began to lose ground. Jiang Shun and the others threaded through layers of mist and rushed towards the black figure. But when they reached the side of the black figure, they were stunned. Lying before them was a demonic animal, dozens of meters in width. Although it was huge, it was not the legendary big demon. Just as Jiang Shun and the others realized that this was not their goal, the earth beneath their feet suddenly started to shake. A dull cry rang out like thunder, reaching everyone's ears. The three sides that were fighting immediately stopped. They sensed an immense gush of demonic aura coming from somewhere nearby. With that, everyone came to a consensus and stopped fighting. The next second, a huge being that was nearby slowly started walking towards them. This huge being was 100 meters tall. They could not clearly see its features through the mist, but the entire ground shook with every step that it took. Chapter 1486 gathered from all places 1, Demon King. The eyes of Elder Yun of the Cloud Valley clan widened. They watched the huge demonic creature, which was not too far away, walk past them. It seemed to sense movement in their area. High above them, its single eye swept across everyone present. An ominous foreboding arose in their hearts. The Demon King must be here to seize the big demon. However, the Demon King only swept a cursory glance at them before it walked deeper into the land of infinite demons. As the Demon King left, the immense demonic aura that had shrouded everyone slowly dissipated. Before they could recover, they heard the piercing cry of a phoenix coming from above them. They saw a 9-headed demon phoenix flying over them. Its wingspan exceeded 100 meters. It was like a huge, dark cloud covering the sky. Innumerable small demons followed in the wake of the 9-headed demon phoenix. They covered the sky, and darkness slowly engulfed them. What's going on? Jiang Qin was shocked as she looked at the strange phenomenon in the sky. The Cyclops Demon King, the 9-headed demon phoenix, all these were demon kings that held sway in their own realms. Their sudden appearance here meant that they also intended to obtain the big demon of the frosty snow mountains. But at this moment, they did not seem to sense the humans and brushed past them and left. Fifth granduncle, we've been fooled. The thing that collapsed over there is not a big demon at all. It is merely a larger small demon. Jiang Shun hurried back. They had only vaguely seen a black figure in the thick mist. When they saw the bodies of so many small demons lying there, they had erroneously assumed that the big demon must be in the mist. Who knew? This was not the case at all. What? Jiang Shun's words shocked both clans. What is going on? That is not the body of the big demon? Jiang Shangyu frowned. The elders of the other two clans also grew suspicious. They had thought it was strange that the Cyclops Demon King and the 9-headed Demon Phoenix had left. But when they heard Jiang Shun's words, their suspicions deepened. They rushed over to the black figure and peered through the mist only to discover their fight had been in vain. This was not the body of the large demon. The faces of the two clan leaders immediately darkened. The members of the Cloud Valley clan had just discovered the black figure when they encountered the members of the Southern Peak clan, so they had not managed to take a closer look. The two sides assumed that the black figure was the body of the big demon and were too concerned with fighting over it to even examine it closely. But the joke was on them. Do you really think that the body of the big demon is so easily obtained and that you can just pick it up? Jiang Sun could not help but laugh coldly at this farce. Yi Qingtang was also speechless. She had never been to the land of infinite demons before and did not know much about it. But come to think of it, a dominant big demon was so terrifying. If it knew that its life was coming to an end, would it just casually die at the borders of the land of infinite demons? Furthermore, the fight for a big demon was so intense, so why were there only 3 forces fighting for it? At that moment, everyone recovered their wits. The two ancient clans who had been fighting so bitterly felt conflicted. Now that they knew they had wrongly identified the big demon, they did not say anything else and simply left the area. Fifth granduncle, What should we do now? Jiang Shun was frustrated. He thought that they had gotten an incredible deal, but it turned out to be just a mistake. Chapter 1487 gathered from all directions. Jiang Shangyu frowned and pondered, but waves of suffocating demonic air suddenly invaded the surroundings. Huge black shadows slowly roamed deeper into the land of infinite demons through the thick fog, as though there was something in there that was attracting them toward it. So many demonic creatures. Jiang Shangyu frowned slightly. Although he could not see the faces of those 100-meter-tall black shadows, he could tell that there were many demon kings present from the powerful demonic air. Swoosh! A piercing sound sliced the repressive atmosphere. Numerous shadows suddenly flew past in the air above the land of infinite demons and were actually headed in the same direction as those demon kings. Fifth great uncle, is there something deep in the land of infinite demons? Jiang Shun was tempted. Jiang Shangyu replied. Let's go and take a look. Jiang Shun and the others had a hesitant look. Several demon kings near them already headed there, and it was definitely an extremely terrifying force with so many demon kings gathered together. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. These demon kings were headed in the same direction, which means that there's definitely something attracting them. The demon kings can sense great demons way better than us. Perhaps they have already found out where that great demon died, Jiang Shangyu said in a deep voice. Those demon kings would rush over as well when the great demon died, and once a scramble for the treasures began, it would be a bloody war across various clans. Everyone has to listen to my command. If anyone does not listen to my command when we enter deeper into the land of infinite demons, no one will save you even if you die. Jiang Shangyu instructed coldly. Understood. All the Jiang family members viewed Jiang Shangyu as their only leader. Immediately, under Jiang Shangyu's lead, everyone chased in the direction where the demon kings headed to. Tang Tang, you must be extremely careful. Follow me closely. Jiang Sun warned Yi Qingtang seriously. Many demon kings had already appeared now, and this scramble would definitely be a violent one. In that situation, even she might not be able to protect herself. Yi Qingtang nodded and remained beside Jiang Sun obediently. Jiang Shangyu and the group followed right after the demon kings, but the closer they got to the depths of the land of infinite demons, the more intense the demonic air in the surroundings. The trees in the surroundings seemed to be nourished by this demonic air and were immensely tall. Shaded by the tall mountains and trees, the thick fog was swept into the strong currents of the river. Black figures shuffled their way through at the foot of the high cliffs. After following for half a day, Yi Qingtang and the rest finally saw a ray of light at a far corner of a dim and dense forest. At the bottom of a waterfall among the successive mountains, an enormous frame was sprawled in between the cliffs of two tall mountains. It was such a gigantic frame that seemed to reach the clouds, and its head and tail were out of sight. One could only see a small part of its body. That is, the great demon of the frosty snow mountains? Yi Qingtang's eyes widened uncontrollably as she looked at the enormous creature afar. The great demon title induced fear. Yi Qingtang only heard that the great demon of the frosty snow mountains once swallowed millions of people. Now that she only saw the tip of the iceberg, it was already unimaginably enormous. No wonder. This great demon could swallow millions of living beings. Just its frame was already unbelievable, and the surrounding tall cliffs were actually no taller than that great demon lying down. Chapter 1488 gathered from all directions. 3 After seeing a part of the great demon's body, Yi Qingtang felt that it was ridiculous that the Cloud Valley clan mistook the small demon as it. The toe of this great demon was probably larger than that small demon's body. This fellow probably wanted to enter the forbidden area but died here. A thunderous voice entered everyone's ears. That was a plain voice, but its force seemed to be able to crush the organs of the listeners. A 100-meter-tall demonic creature stood at the bottom of a mountain cliff, and a sole eye in the center of its face was squinted as it looked at that great demon's body. Cyclops Demon King. Yi Qingtang narrowed her eyes at that enormous Cyclops Demon King. This Cyclops Demon King never paid any regard to them when it passed by them just now, and it must have headed to this location because it sensed the location of the great demon. This Cyclops Demon King dominated a region and was extremely aggressive. There were numerous demons under him, and they once wiped out several countries. It had a brutal nature and found joy in devouring humans. Several large imperial courts hated it to the core and joined forces to annihilate it, but they ultimately ended up giving the Cyclops Demon King a huge meal. Ultimately, they were unable to kill it and could only let it be. A phoenix call rang at this instant. The 9-heads demon phoenix that Yi Qingtang and the rest saw earlier was hovering in the sky with groups of demons gathered behind it. The Cyclops Demon King looked up slightly and scoffed at the sight of the 9-heads demon phoenix. "So it's here," a cold voice rang as numerous shadows suddenly arrived in the air. They were stern-looking men donned in green robes who rode on swords. Standing upright in the air, their eyes were fixed on that great demon's corpse. The 7 saints of the snow zone. Yi Qingtang was shaken when she saw the figures of those men. The 7 saints of the snow zone were the top powerful figures of the central mainland. Although the 7 of them were not old, they were insanely talented and became renowned in a few years after becoming adults. Possessing different specialties, these 7 people moved together whenever they were in an operation and remained undefeated to date. I never thought that the 7 saints of the snow zone would also be joining in the fun in the land of infinite demons. A deep laugh suddenly resounded. As that laughter entered everyone's ears, a huge demonic beast gradually approached the crowd from a cliff. That demonic beast had gold-plated armor, and on its back sat an old-looking elderly with sharp eyes. With a bone flute in his hands, the elderly smiled, but his eyes seemed to be permeated with an icy chill. That elderly was the Beastmaster in the central mainland, and he could control all demonic beasts for his use with a bone flute. Although he was alone, a troop with 1,000,000 demonic beasts struck terror in humans. Back when the Central Dynasty was in chaos, the Emperor personally requested the Beastmaster's help. With just a flute and by himself only, he commanded a huge troop consisting of millions of demonic beasts and forced the enemy to retreat, thus stabilizing the internal disorder within the Central Dynasty. In no time, more and more figures appeared near the great demon, and Yi Qingtang was shaken when she took a glance. Everyone she met today was a prominent, powerful figure of the Central Mainland. It was difficult for others to take one eye at them on normal days, but who would have thought? All of them were actually gathered here after hearing about the death of the great demon. As Yi Qingtang scanned those top powerful figures, a dragon roar broke out in the sky all of a sudden. Yi Qingtang blanked out for a moment at the sound of that familiar dragon roar. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.